your throat and your voice just like drops.
It gets stuck in your what?
Hey, yo.
Yo, there's no way we're starting you.
It's
That's
not
the
recording,
first
bro.
part.
It's not recording.
All right.
We're definitely recorded, but
Oh, you're recording?
yeah, that's the beginning.
You're
But
down
I-
for it, little sis.
What's going on?
You know
What's
what?
up? What's up?
Honestly, this is pretty on brand for me. If you ever watch me like commentate Preds KOZE, I usually get a couple AOs out of the chat pretty early on. So
Yeah, that's the type of timing you're on. I respect it.
That's what you want?
Yeah, if that's what you like. That's what you like.
it's not usually on purpose, to be fair.
Oh, so it's just natural.
It's just organic. What can I say? I'm just a walking accident.
The
A,
sus
wa-
is built
a
into
walking accident is crazy. That's
Yo.
unfortunate. But yeah. So let's get into it. Like, tell the people who you are, Lawless. I don't really know who you are like that, so this be new to
Sure.
me as well.
You got it. Yeah. So, hello stream. Your boy KF Lawless. I'm an American player, but I've been living in Japan for the last 3 years. I moved here in January of 2020, like right before the pandemic hit. The only fighting game I really played seriously for at any point in my life was Dragon Ball Fighters. Started playing it in college, and just because one of my friends got me into it, and now I enjoy a couple more fighting games, but mostly Dragon Ball Fighters and Melty Blood. But I speak pretty good Japanese, which is a benefit because I'm actually, I've gotten quite friendly with a lot of the Japanese players here. So I talk to them a good bit. We have a couple of group chats where we talk to each other, find games and stuff. And just recently, this past weekend, we had the Japan Power event. I was there. I scrubbed out. I'm trash at this game. So, it is what it is. But I got to see some of the players, got to see some of the guys who made top 8. I got to see Taco, Oblivion, Ikoan, and some of the other ones some of the players were there, they just didn't actually enter. They were just there for fun. Okay. But yeah, I've got the inside scoop on the Japanese metagame. Spoiler alert, it's the French metagame, but no one speaks English.
Wait, before we get into that though, you said you moved to Japan in January 2020. Why was that?
So I got a job here. I'm an automotive cybersecurity engineer.
Oh,
So I got a job working for a company, not a car company, an automotive supplier. So a company that makes parts for car companies, and I do cybersecurity testing for this company.
Okay. All right, that's what's up. And you've been working there now 2 years, 3, going on 3.
Yeah, actually, my 3-year anniversary with my company is coming up in about a month and some change.
Okay. And where were you in the States when you were living here?
Yeah, my family is based in Michigan. So Skeezer, Dougie, if you're familiar with these fellas, they're my boys, right?
You were cooking them? Say the truth.
No,
cooking them?
I'm ass at this game, dog. I'm fucking terrible,
my
bro.
god, no, bro, please don't do this. Say you were cooking them. Call them free. Go ahead and call them free.
It's the instigate stream, bro.
What
We
he meant to
instigate.
say is that they're his sons. That's what he meant.
Yeah,
to say.
Skis is not even that good. Let's be real. Skis is not. And who's the other guy you mentioned? Who's the other person you mentioned?
Dougie and
Yeah, see, not even memorable.
Yeah.
That's what he meant to say, guys.
Why?
Nah. Shout out to Dougie. Dougie, my man's.
Dougie.
Dougie's great. He's got a kind of like TO figure who's also kind of nice at the game. I think he's
Okay.
Thank you,
better than I
Bubbles.
am at this point.
You know the
So-
truth, bro. I don't
so
let
before-
friends gaslight me.
Before we get into the whole discussion, right? Overall, like, how would you rate the scenes, the power scalings between, I guess, your locals? Did you go to your locals in Michigan?
Yeah, so I lived a little bit far away from the regular local for most of the time I lived there. Like the strong players in Michigan, right? You've got Dismantle X. I'm not
Dismantle? You giving it to Dismantle like that?
He's better than me, all right?
Put me
Then that negative? Uh-oh.
Putting this match shouldn't be the same sentence.
We in this later, but I.
And so it's crazy. Dismantle X always comes up no matter what. He's probably the soldier boy of Dragon Ball Z. Maybe it's not Lex. Maybe it's not
Yo,
Lex.
it's funny. Where is he even at though? Like, where has he been? He just
Soldier boy.
Not soldier
No,
boy.
bro, he's doing his best to not be net negative. That's all we know, okay? We have
you can respect that part. We respect
At least
that.
mention Skeezer.
You gotta respect the grind, but no, Skeezer is another really good player in Michigan. Jordan B. These are, I guess, like the really well known. And Dell is actually from Michigan too. Now, your opinions of Dell may vary apparently from what what I've seen in chat today.
I've watched the streams. Like, I've seen it myself. I already did everything I had to do. Downloaded that in like 10 seconds.
Damn.
Did you
Damn,
do
it's like that.
diligence?
Yeah. When I was preparing for the money match, I was like, oh shit, that's it. Okay. Like, that's it.
Damn, it was like that. But we're not talking about you right now, J-Bo. It's not about.
Yeah, we're
It's not about you.
J-Bo podcast.
Yeah, it's not. This is not the J-Bo pod. We're not gonna do J-Bo. No, we're not doing this.
We're not talking about it anymore. I promise to stop talking about it.
Yeah, we're not doing this.
I'm gonna do the kite and mute myself.
Oh my god.
No.
Look, if you guys actually want to hear J-Bo going crazy, you guys can check out the YouTube video. I already posted it before of you and J-Bo going at it. So you guys want to check that out, go ahead and check out the YouTube channel. But all right, Lawless. So overall, like, so you mentioned Dougie, you mentioned Jordan B, you mentioned Skis, you mentioned all these players from Michigan, right? Now that you've been there in Japan nearly 3 years, how do you feel the power levels of the people from Japan versus the people that you played at your locals?
For sure. So the thing about I think you need to kind of recognize when it comes to Japan is that, as ironic as this is, the player base for the game currently in Japan is lower than any other major region in the world. Right.
Wow.
Honestly, like the South American player base is probably bigger because I know we've seen like the Brazilian Power event. I think had a pretty big turnout. I don't remember exactly, but like to put it in perspective, for this is the first offline like large event in 2 years. Right. We had 26 people sign up.
Damn.
That's actually really low.
Yeah. And part of it has to do with like the way the point system for this world tour is working, right? Like Fenrich is like, before the event started, undisputed #1. No matter how this tournament goes, no one is shaking him from his spot. He doesn't even have to come. Because Fenrich, for reference, he lives on the other side of the country. Right? Goichi and Fenrich, they're on the west side of Japan. That's the Osaka boys, right? And then here in Tokyo is the east side, and the event was held here in Tokyo.
For those that don't know, what's the travel distance? An hour, 2 hours?
It's about, so if you're going from Osaka, which is the big city in the west, the biggest city in the west, it's about 2.5 to like 3 hours by bullet train. Bullet trains are basically an airplane, but without all the hassle of getting all your shit scanned before you get on, waiting in the gate. You just get on the train and it's just fast as fuck. Right? It's
Okay.
brilliant. Yeah, so it's about as fast as an airplane for that distance. So it's about 3 hours by bullet train. And it's not only that, the time, but bullet trains are also more expensive than a regular train because they're fast, right? It costs about the same as a plane ticket. So it's about $100 one way. So, and Fenrich and Goichi are both sponsored players, but there was literally like no benefit to them going. Goichi didn't go because he hadn't performed really well enough to be in the running to qualify for the World Finals. So it was kind of a pointless for him to go, right? Because even if he got first, he wouldn't be qualified. Because leading into this event, I guess this is a good segue. I mentioned Fenrich is the untouchable first seed. Right? No one can touch him, no matter how this event goes. But between Oblivion, Taco, and Ikoan, each of those players. So Taco was currently in the second seat, like before the event started, and then Ikoan, and then Oblivion. And because Taco had that huge win at the Taiwanese event just about a week ago, I think, he had the easiest path to victory, right? If Taco got second place at this event, he would be qualified no matter who got first. He would be the second seat for the World Tour overall. Right.
Okay.
Whereas Oblivion and Ikoan, if they got first and Taco didn't get second, whoever got first would be the second seat. Sorry if that's kind of circular.
No,
I spent like 15 minutes looking at the charts and like doing the calculations, but
It's very similar to the
American
France.
scene. Oh, French?
To the French.
Wasn't it like that for America
Yeah.
with Nitro and Pride and Ninja?
No, it was just that Inzam had to get third.
yeah.
Okay.
Place him.
Yeah, because Nitro wasn't in that tournament. Inzam got his points set. So.
Okay. So like watching the tournament over the weekend, we didn't watch it together, but Kai, you watched it, right? J-Bo, y'all watched it?
No. Well, yeah,
I didn't get to watch it. I was moving,
I didn't
sadly.
watch it.
You didn't. J-Bo didn't see it. Kai, what'd you say, Kai?
I didn't see it live though. I just watched the VOD.
You watched it live, okay. Well, I was watching it live, and to be honest with you guys, I feel like it was a lot of randomness happening. I don't know if you guys can agree or disagree with that, but I felt like they were playing online, offline.
So
Before we get into this, Lawless,
yeah.
I do want to state that I don't know how Japan does their seeding or who did it, but the seeding for that that event was actually terrible. There's no reason that Pengyon, I think that's his name, this is the Masu player.
Yeah.
He had to play Taco first round, and then the winner played Ikowan. And then on the other side of that, the winner of that match had to play the winner of Kawamatsu and Hiro. So, like, 6 good players were on one side of the bracket, and then you had Oblivion on the other side of the bracket, and he wasn't even the first seed. So it was like, all right, some people that maybe shouldn't have been there slipped into top 8.
So I can comment firsthand on this because I was fucking there, right? But basically, for the Japanese event, you know, it's obvious it was understood to the organizers that there would be people who would sign up that weren't they didn't have like established Smash GG leaderboards. And because they didn't want anyone to feel like they were like, and this is like one of the weird things when you're over centralized on a platform like Smash GG using for like automatic seeding, and there was no manual seeding, right?
There's no human input at all.
They fixed the bracket the day of because they knew there would be people who would sign up that weren't going to be signing up through Smash GG online, right? And to have the like for the check-in like post opening of the event hall, right? You had to actually check in before you could be added into the bracket. They did it like OG Tenkaichi Budokai style. We all drew lots.
Okay.
They had a box with numbers, and we took numbers out, and that's what seed you got.
Already, then certain
Oh
tournaments
my
here in
God.
the east side that we had recently, but I
Already
won't drop
all
any
tournaments.
names. Yeah.
Already L tournaments.
It was
That
terrible.
is-
But that's the thing. Like, there was definitely a bunch of like sloppy play, but like the players that I know are good. Like Hiro didn't make it into top 8.
Yeah, so I can
Do you have
comment
the bracket?
on
Do you
the
have the
top
bracket
8
up right now so
outline
we can look at
too.
it?
I'll put it up.
But basically, like as you mentioned before, like Peñon, Ikoan, and Taco all in the same bracket run,
Back to back.
right? Back to back. Taco like so I had the easiest bracket, but I'm ass, so I like scrubbed out like immediately, right? But no, I went 1 and 2. Okay, I won my first round, but like Taco like before tournament actually started, like once the bracket had been settled, like he like sat down next to me. He's like, I'm fucked. Like he's
Bro,
like,
do you want to hear Taco's run?
Yeah, do you have the link? Can
He
you
had
post
to
it in
play
chat?
Pengyon first
Can you
round.
post it in chat, guys?
Then he
Sorry.
lost to Ikowan. And then he had to play Hiro in losers immediately. And then after that, he had to play Ab again for top 8.
yeah,
Bro,
Abigail
these are all
actually went
players that
crazy.
should have
this
just
week.
been in top 8 if the seeding was right.
Apple.
Yeah.
But I wanted to actually know because I don't really know the Japan scene like that. Like I only know the big names, the Goichi, the
Yeah.
Fenridis, right?
Mhm.
Now Taco and Oblivion making their run. But who are actually like the underrated killers, the A team, if you will, for Japan? The Japan
Ooh,
A team. 'Cause
man.
we don't know. I don't know. So who's
Right.
actually the Japan A team?
So and this goes back to the fact that overall not that many people play anymore. So the pool of people to select from is not that big, right? But if you think about at least people who are in the tournament, and if you have the bracket open, maybe some of them will stick out to you.
Yeah.
You know, from the top 8 side, right? Oblivion, Taco, and Ikowan are definitely, and Fenrich, I'd say. These 4 are definitely guaranteed A team, right?
Oblivion,
Because they're-
Oblivion, Taco, and Ikohan? Fenridi?
Yeah, and then Fenrich. Yeah, Fenrich is the king. No one's gonna unseat him. He's the best player in Japan. He's been the best player in Japan for the last since Goichi stopped competing seriously. Fenrich has been unmatched, right? Like
Goichi came back.
Goichi did come back for a while and he did take it seriously, but I think he didn't really. No, he's still brilliant, of course, but he also has other games he's playing, right? Like he's just he's living his best life. He's like qualified for like the Melty finals and the DNF dual world tour.
Okay.
So he's got
I saw he was
cooking
playing,
with
he was playing
games,
Guitar
right?
Hero earlier, so he's focusing on other things.
Yeah, he's playing horror games with Sonic Fox on stream. Like, he's literally living his best life. And nowadays he's playing Street Fighter 6, right? Because
Yeah,
he doesn't need to
chill.
play Dragon Ball. Like there's not a lot of monetary benefit to competing in Dragon Ball these days.
Would you give a shout out to your favorite player right now?
My favorite player?
Yeah, Mr. Net Negative. No, right?
I was about to say right now, like objectively speaking, yeah, kinda. You're only playing Dragon Ball if you like Dragon Ball. It's really, really it. Like, and when it comes to like these players here in Japan, because it's very expensive to go to the LCQ, I don't think anyone that's not already qualified for the World Finals
You know what?
is coming to the LCQ.
I was joking about it, but I actually want to dive into it then, right? Because like the whole net negative thing, I get it is memes, but would it be actually worth it for the Japanese players to come out to the LCQs overall, even if it's for the experience, even if they don't end up winning to qualify, because only 2 people can qualify? But is it still worth the trip?
So the trip to Las Vegas, luckily it's Las Vegas as opposed to like Chicago or something, right? This is something that they talked to me about like while I was there. Las Vegas is kind of manageable. But when it comes to like traveling from Japan to the US, there's a lot of factors, right? First of all, flights from Japan to the US are usually more expensive than the other way around, even if it's the same city. Also, the exchange rate is very heavily in favor of the US dollar. This has to do with the way, this is actually just a current events thing. The Japanese yen has gotten a little bit weaker than the dollar in the last few years. And so if I actually look it up right now, USD, JPY, like earlier this year, it was really bad. It was 150 yen to $1. Whereas, to give you a sense of scale, in actual purchasing power, 100 yen is about equal to $1. Right, so what that means is the same thing I can buy for $1 in America, I can buy for 100 Japanese yen in Japan, right? But at this time, right now, it's about 130 to the dollar. But earlier this year, I think like around like August, like during Evo, it was 150 to the dollar, right? So everyone's like money is worth like 25% less. Like all the money you work hard and save, and Japanese salaries aren't that high anyway, heads up, is worth 25% less if you go to the United States. So it's very expensive. So the players that can afford to travel regularly are honestly only the sponsored ones. And you're either going like net negative and just for the experience, right? Or you're sponsored. And some people can do that, some people can't. But it's also the fact that like, okay, Taco and Oblivion are young kids, right? Yeah. Taco's in college, Oblivion is like in his last year of high school.
Okay, young, okay.
Oh, young, yeah. He's a young man, right? Like, and so like for them, it's like, all right, whatever. I can take like a week, right, and go on vacation. But Ikowan's a grown ass man. These are adults. They have jobs, and Japan is not known for being very like if you think like it's hard to get time off in the States, like take whatever arbitrary value you assign that difficulty and just double it.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. See, I don't know this information because I've never been to Japan. I don't know how it's like over there. I think a lot of us in the chat have been to Japan, so
it's kind of like a cultural thing because in Japan there's a lot of like emphasis on everyone working together and a lot of like this is a plus and a minus. Right? I'm not going to get too deep into Japanese culture, but there's a lot of like collectivism and thinking about other people as opposed to like a very individualistic society like the U.S. Right, and so you're not supposed to like take time off if it would inconvenience your colleagues, right? And so there's like a social stigma around it sometimes. So sometimes even if you're technically legally allocated, right, 15, 20 days of paid time off a year, there's kind of like a stigma attached to taking it, which is really bad in my opinion. This is something I'm very critical about.
What you're saying?
Yeah, like people like, and obviously this depends from company to company. Right, every situation will be different. Some places are very toxic, like they'll actually bully you into not using your PTO. Some places won't. My company, the company I work for, I'm very lucky. I work for an Italian company. Like they let me do whatever I want, more or less, right?
Okay.
But like some people, like they actually they do have a hard time getting the time off, even if it's technically in their contract. It's just a reality of this kind of work environment and the culture here. And so I've gotten a little bit off track, but that ties into why you don't see the Japanese players travel that much. And like even for this world tour, like the majority of the time we've seen them in like other countries, right? Taco, Ikowan, and Oblivion. I think they all went to the Malaysia tournament where Uchiha actually took first place. I don't know if Oblivion was there too, but I think Taco and Ikowan were both there. But Uchiha took first place, the Middle Eastern player. And then like Taiwan's really close. Malaysia is very close. Like these are very, very nearby, right? Like it's like $100 flight. Yeah, exactly. It's like $100. It's like $100 flight. Honestly, it's really cheap, and the hotel's not that bad too. So those events, it was very easy for people to go. But some of them went to UFA. I know Goichi went to UFA, but like again, he's sponsored.
I met Goichi for the first time. I was lit.
Yeah, I bet he was. He was cracked, wasn't he? Like I don't remember that well about UFA, but I didn't. But from what I heard, he was kind of kicking ass. Like did he make top 8 in Dragon Ball?
Yeah, he ended up beating Yasha. Took Yasha out the tournament.
There you go. Like Goichi is still fucking nuts, but I just don't think Dragon Ball is a huge priority for him anymore. But honestly, even saying that, I'd still put him in the A team. If you have to have 8 people on your A team, I'd still put Goichi in there, right?
That's fair. That's valid.
Like similar to like Sonic for us, right? Like how Sonic is. He doesn't really play the game. Well, they don't really play the game, and we already know like a week of the game, he'll be back on A team.
100%. It's like riding a bike. Give me 5 minutes and oh yeah, I got this shit down. Especially not to mention, I don't want to say like this, like I don't want to talk down on anyone's scale, but all the Japanese players are using team anyone can cook. It's like, how much practice do you really need?
Gotcha, yeah, with the meta.
Before you're competing at the highest level. Like if you add Goichi's, like if Goichi literally only practiced his defense, which is something you can practice like in other fighting games too, and that carries over, and you just do all right, 2H Lapco 50-50 with Blue Gogeta. You don't need any other offense. That's the only offense you need. It's like he's like, I got full power in like 20 minutes, right? Like it's really, really silly.
Okay. There's one thing that you mentioned when you were talking about the Japanese scene. You were talking about how it's frowned upon if you take time off at work and stuff like that, like, for the most part. Similar in that line, I want to ask because Double O actually brought this up a couple weeks ago. He mentioned that the Americans here, we're not as united as the French players are. Whereas whether we win or we lose, like us as Americans, we're kind of not unified. Whereas in France, they always like, damn, you lost. Even when they play against each other, they're like damn, it's okay, man. It's gonna be all right. Like, or give them advice. They're constantly helping each other out, no matter wins, loss. It doesn't matter. How is it like that in Japan? Are they more like American, more like France? Like, how is it?
So, man, that is actually a really interesting question. It's not something I've ever thought about answering before. So, honestly, like the thing about, and this kind of ties into the way Japanese people are in general. Japanese people are very, very polite, and especially like when it comes to like playing games with people, like it's not like you become friends after a while, but like especially when like you first start, you play games with someone, you go to locals or whatever, and you just sit down and you play together. It's really polite and friendly, but like you're not like really like close friends with them. Now for the people at the top, because they play against each other so often and they're always traveling together, I'm not really like that close with too many of them. Right? I'm close with like Oblivion and Taco. Actually, we hung out a lot at Evo in Vegas, and we had dinner together. We just chilled in their hotel room and played games for a couple hours. So like I know those guys pretty well. But like among them, like they're friends, right? Like Taco and Oblivion especially, those two are very close. They're training partners, and like they both have this kind of like shared experience where they're both very young and they're both performing really well and they're traveling, and so they room together. Anywhere they go, they're rooming together because they're boys, right? And so for them, like at least like for those two, they have that kind of like close relationship, kind of similar to the French, where they especially like for Oblivion, like everyone kind of felt bad for him. He won first place. He was undefeated this past weekend, but because Taco had the better record overall for the World Tour, Taco's still the one who gets to go to Vegas. So, and that's got to be hard, like for Oblivion. And I know Taco kind of, he's obviously, happy with his results and he's proud and he deserves to be, that's his effort. He's the one who got the points. He's the one who showed out in Taiwan, right? He got first place there and he got second place here, and that got him, that's the difference. But like, and for Oblivion, it's going to be hard for him, but I'm sure he's happy for Taco too. And honestly, I think Oblivion has a good chance to be headed to the LCQ. If I had to pick one or two of the players, I think I'd say there's a chance he goes, maybe. If only because Taco's going and, they'd kind of buddy up.
From the way it sounds like overall that the large majority of the community, they're not as tight-knit with each other besides the people who travel together. And a select few of players actually hang out, but overall they're not all always hanging out together. Kind of like how you have the French brother, man. They always are together. Whether even when they're competing in a different game, like for example they're going towards Smash, they're all like, you know what, let's all play Smash. It's a collective effort. So it doesn't sound like Japan is like that, really.
So I will say, like, it's not like they're all like cold people, right? It's just a
not
matter of
cold,
like,
yeah.
yeah. So, and this is something I've noticed after living here for a while. Japanese people will usually become like they'll get friendly much faster with non-Japanese people because when two Japanese people who don't know each other meet for the first time, there's this awkward like expectation of like social norms that they're expected to follow, and that's kind of why sometimes their relationships, like especially in the beginning, can feel a little bit stiff. But like when it comes to like foreigners, they'll usually get along like very quickly and like start joking and laughing. Like one of my best friends in Dragon Ball scene is he's a player from like he doesn't play Dragon Ball that much anymore, but his name is Colossus. He I think he made he went to Evo. He used to top at Fighting Tuesday like every week. He was very, very good, and he's still really good. But he plays like KOF now, and he moved to Osaka, so I don't see him that often. But he came through for the power event. He didn't enter. He just came for fun.
Oh, he's one of the people
like he's my boy. Like yeah, and he was at Evo. We hung out and stuff, and also like on that same note, when the Japanese players have known each other for a long time, then they get like a little bit more friendly with one another. So for example, like while we were at Evo, Fenrich was actually rooming with us, right? So Fenrich, so myself, Fenrich, Skeezer, and Aaron Damac, I think we all shared a room together. Fenrich was kind of like, because Goichi wasn't going, he was like, I'm not sure who I'm going to room with, because Goichi announced like he like wasn't going to be like there.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was initially planning to go, but then he canceled it, right? There was kind of like, oh no, Goichi's not going anymore. So Fenrich was looking for someone to stay with. And I said like, hey, come hang out with us. And he said sure.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And so like, while he's there, he would actually go and hang out with like Bombaban. Like Bombaban was there at Evo too, and so they went out like Bombaban, Ikoan, and Fenrich. I think I remember seeing them all like hanging out and going to dinner together. And so they do have like these friendships. But they do take a little bit longer to kind of take place, and also when it comes to like with foreigners, language barrier gets in the way too sometimes, right? But
we all know the universal sign to you want to run the set. Y'all both point at the screen and shake your head. That's the.
Yeah.
That's how everybody says you want to play. That's kind of how it goes.
Bro, I'm just like a little story I want to tell. Like I don't mean to put my boy on blast, right? I love Inzum, but it's so.
Enzo slander, I'm here for it.
No, it's not slander, right? But we were in the like the event hall for Evo, and I was just like like chilling with Fenrich, talking to him, because he was playing a lot of other games. I think he played like Blaze Blue and Strive as well as Dragon Ball. So we were just chilling, and I was talking to him. And Inzum comes up, he's like, "What's up?" And then Inzum starts like firing off questions at Fenrich. He's like, "What do you think about like just like Dragon Ball like gameplay questions? Like, what do you think of this? Like really, really fast." And the poor guy, he's just kind of like trying to understand what he's saying. And Fenrich's English is not really that good, and so like he just kind of like sits there still for a second, and then he tries to pull up his phone to like translate what he said.
The Google Translate real quick.
And then Inzum's like been talking for like 20 seconds and has no understanding that this poor guy just does not understand a word he said. And he's still talking. And...
Not like this.
Oh man. Oh man, that's hilarious.
I just thought that was funny because like I was kind of waiting to see how he'd respond. He kind of like it's so innocent. He pulls up his phone because he wants to answer him. Fenrich is an incredibly polite guy. He's super nice.
No, I imagine I've seen. Like,
yeah, he's really nice. And like he like pulls up his phone. He wants to like understand. He wants to talk to Inzum because he knows he came to talk to me. That's like it'd be rude not to answer him. And so I'm like, dude, he has no idea what you're talking about.
You gotta hit him with the no hablas inglés.
Yeah. Oh God, that was so fucking funny. That's actually one of my highlights for you. And I love Inzum. Inzum is actually my boy. I'm so happy that he's qualified, but I had to get a dig in at him just because it's relevant to the conversation right now.
No, yeah, I respect that. When they come up to that, you just tell them, yo, Inzum, go touch some grass, bro. Hit him with that. That's all it is. That's all it is. Yo, go touch some grass. But now, yeah, J-Bo, I know I've been talking for a minute. I don't know if you guys have a question.
In your opinion, who do you have? Like, who's your favorite for the World Tour? I know we still don't know who the next two qualifiers are, but who will be like your? Even if you can't give like one, like your three that you would see like be like.
Okay.
Yeah, like to be those.
I have a pet theory I've been cooking for a while. Okay. I think that Wawa will pull a Sonic Fox and decline his invitation to participate. Remember back, I think like 2 years ago, during the online like net play stuff, like Sonic Fox was invited for like they had like the net play world tour thing, right? And Sonic Fox basically said, "Yeah, I don't really want to do that." And so they brought someone else in instead.
Not qualified. Wawa's not
qualified. He didn't sign up for the esports thing, but I don't think they can get away with not inviting him unless they've already given away his seat at the LCQ. Is that what you mean?
No. So the thing is that winning Evo gave you 550 points. So if he was signed up, he still would not have enough points to qualify in Europe 1 because Evo wasn't an auto qualifier.
Evo didn't was an auto qualifier. Maybe I'm bugging.
Put you in. It just gave you like the most points.
Fair enough. If that's actually the case, then I guess Wall was already out of the picture, and my pet theory just doesn't count. And honestly, I think
unless he pulls up blindly at the LCQ.
Yeah, right. Good for him. Good for you, bro.
What are the chances? What are the chances Wall pulls up blindly at the LCQ?
I mean, he might be there, but I don't think he's gonna like compete for.
Isn't Wawa in America right now? Is he?
I don't know.
Last I heard, he's like playing Smash now. I have no idea.
I think he moved on. To be honest, in my opinion,
I expected.
I did. I did too. Because like another question I actually had for you before you answer that question. Why do you believe? I know that with you kind of explained the whole travel situation, how the funding and everything would not be necessarily worth it to travel to compete in Dragon Ball, but do you feel like it's also the meta that made them drop Dragon Ball or other games? Like, why do you feel that there is only 24 people entering those type of tournaments there, rather than a big amount of people that we did see a couple years ago?
Yeah, at least for Japan, it's definitely a big part of it is that there are other games. Gotcha. Like fighting games are like very well established in Japan as like a very common it's a popular game genre here, right? People want to play like Street Fighter 6 and Guilty Gear Strive and the new Melty Blood is very popular here, right? Like I know like it's kind of starving in the West, but MBTL is really thriving over here in Japan. Like it's a very popular game. They have regular offlines. I think I might be going to like an offline like just fun like tag team tournament this weekend, right? Just because, right? But it's people appreciate the new games that come out here. KOF is very popular here. Strive, I think Strive is still going to be the biggest one. Even DNF Duel is still very popular, right? Like Fighting Tuesday, if you it's been rebranded to Tatakai Tuesday now, right? The Giuna is still running it. He runs Strive and DNF every week instead, right? He has brackets for those two games, but then you can bring any other game you want. So I haven't been in a while, but like I wanted to bring like my own Melty setup, and it's just because I'm also trying to play more Melty. But like Dragon Ball is kind of flush. Like the people who are at this World Tour event are like the same people you see in every single tournament because they're the only people still playing.
Gotcha.
Right?
They love the game basically. They just love the game.
What would you see Would we see an actual resurgence if rollback was to come out and they were to compete against the Americans, against the French, and so on, people across the world? Where we see a
rollback is
the Japanese thing?
Yeah, if the rollback is good enough where you can get like play between the US, like West Coast at least, right? I don't know, like, man, East Coast to Japan might be kind of hard because it's a longer distance, but I actually haven't tested that much. But I used to play with Skeezer. We used to play Melty Blood from like me here in Japan and him back in Michigan, and honestly, it was very workable. So if it's very good rollback netcode, I think that it's very possible. But rollback, reviving the game implies that there are people who want to play the game that are waiting for the rollback.
Gotcha.
And there aren't that many people at this time, so it might be too little too late. That's just my opinion, right? And maybe it's different, right? But if people don't want to play with the people in their own region, why would they want to like go out of their way to play with people in other regions if they're just not playing the game as it is?
I mean, we can chalk that. Sorry, I was gonna say.
My fault.
We can chalk that up to the fact that, damn, Kai, I gotta play you again. I gotta play Jibbo again. I'm tired of playing these people. I play them every week.
Same people, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't answer online tournaments like that.
Yeah, I think that's really where they dropped the ball at because I've even seen it on like a lot of Twitter people talking about it. I think that people are kind of failing to realize that yes, if the rollback comes, we'll all play. Like, yeah, we'll be able to play each other. However, if everybody decides to dip, then you're playing the same people you're already kind of playing. So it's gonna get stale pretty fast. And they have a lot of competition next year because you got Tekken, you got Street Fighter, you got all these updates for these new games coming out. So I see what you're saying, and that's why I think they also dropped the ball with kind of like this last event recently. They didn't really give us any updates. They just said an announcement of an announcement, basically.
Mhm.
So yeah.
I do like what Lawless said though, about like new games just coming out and people just gravitate towards them. But I think that goes to like a really like larger thing that a lot of Japanese players are like multi-game specialists. Like they play all the games, and that's like kind of like different from America, where like sometimes people like there are just Dragon Ball players, there are just people that only play NRS games, and like a lot of the times like at least like the really prominent Japanese players, like they play everything. Like Fenrich plays Guilty Gear, Blaze Blue, Dragon Ball. Koichi's like one of the best Street Fighter players, or like he was like one of the best Manats. So like seeing them just go to other games with more opportunities isn't shocking. Dragon Ball.
Yeah, especially on that. Like I remember, like Fenrich, I think he pulled up to the Australia Power event, and they had multiple fighting games there. He won like four. He walked away with 4 first place medals. I think it was both Blaze Blue games, Strive, and Dragon Ball Fighters. Every game he entered, he took first place. Like Fenrich is not fucking around. He's actually just.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Definitely is.
That's interesting. You bring that up too, Kite, because we have players that do that, but we don't have a lot of players. One of the main players that does enter multiple games and actually wins multiple games is Chris G. He's one of the players that we
Sonic, Punk at times too. Punk.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of them, but the few that we do have, they be cooking. They definitely.
Yeah, we call those old legends. They're not common anymore. This is the people from like many titles, like storied history, like proven players over time.
Also, like I don't know if people like realize this, but like Japan, a lot of the Japanese players, like I think Street Fighter is the biggest game over there, or like at least before Strive. So
yeah,
at least like when I watch like Street Fighter League, like a lot of like the Dragon Ball players just moved on to Street Fighter. Like, does anybody remember Moke?
Yes, I remember the Trunks.
Yeah, Moke.
Bro,
yeah.
He's
Moke
one of the sickest Rashids in Japan. Like I just think that Dragon Ball dropped the ball, and I think it's not just COVID, and it's not just no rollback, but it's like, bro, there's like not a lot of opportunities with this game.
Yeah,
I would say that Dragon Ball at this point, like for how long it's been out, I would say it was a successful game for like the first installment in a franchise. And I think this ties into something else I wanted to say. Rollback alone probably won't be enough to like give this game like the second wind it needs. And I think like a Super Dragon Ball Fighters or Dragon Ball Fighters 2 is probably a very likely thing, because a couple months ago we had this like huge leak. Someone said they hacked Bandai Namco and they released some like schedule, and everyone at first like, oh, this is a joke, right? Get this out of my face. But the thing is, this leak had an Armored Core release, okay? Armored Core, if you're familiar, is a game developed by From Software, the guys who make Dark Souls. And guess what got announced at the
Game Awards? Yes, you're right.
A new Armored Core game. So all of a sudden, I'm like, hold up.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that whole list.
I just remember
that whole game leak list was confirmed. Like almost every game that was on that list was actually confirmed out.
Wow,
to be fair, some of the things that were in that list were already like announced before the leak happened. So you could, you can't like assume that that's actually like leaked information. But this Armored Core one is like the first, and this is a game franchise that hasn't been around for years. Like the Armored Core games, like they're very old.
PlayStation, right? Like the very first PlayStation, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they even made the
like that.
We're talking eons, decades.
These games before, but these are very old games, and so like, just to pull the like, if you had to fake a leak, why would you put Armored Core in there, right?
Oh, let's see. 2012. The game before Armored Core was released in 2012. By the way, yeah, Xena says that.
It's a long ass time ago, and like you wouldn't pull that out of nowhere, and then to have it be true, I have a lot of faith that we're gonna get an announcement in early 2023 of Dragon Ball Fighters 2 or Super Dragon Ball Fighters, and I can't wait to see how they shake it up, because I'm no game developer. I can't imagine how they would reinvent it while keeping the same
I
like
have
energy.
a million and one ideas how to reinvent
there's so many ways.
About the gameplay, I'm thinking more about the visuals and ways to pull people in. Right, that's what I'm talking about right now. I can't imagine how they're going to improve on like the vibe of Dragon Ball Fighters, and like as far as the gameplay and the balancing stuff goes, there's a clear objective: make it a good balanced fighting game. But I'm thinking more about upgrading it to where the casual audience wants to play it again. Because if they just released it with the same like character skins and animations and stuff as we currently have, but now it's more balanced, no one outside of like the people already still playing the game is going to give a fuck. Right. Like they need to make real improvements on the visuals, on the sound, on the actual gameplay in ways that even the casual audience appreciates for it to be worth a new game title.
Right, look at the screen.
Also,
Have
why
the
would
link
they
right
give us
here.
rollback if a new game is coming out anytime soon? I think
if
a new game were to come out, it's like 2024.
So my theory is that Dragon Ball Fighters Super, or what they got there, is going to be the rollback version, and it's a whole new game, and they just lied to us. They're not adding rollback.
It's actually what we said. It's actually what we said last week, right? Since they're taking so long to put rollback into the game, it's more than likely they just reinvented the game from the ground up and they're gonna redo the visuals, kind of like what they do season 2 to season 3 and so on, 3 to 4, 1 and 2, whatever. They just gonna
paying $60 for it.
They're gonna just reinvent the game. Now they probably end up doing the upgrade, what's it called, the upgrade program or whatever, and people who already have Dragon Ball, people who already have the game. Or they could do something like Naruto. I don't know if you guys remember Naruto. They announced the game, and then they had like Naruto Full Burst. It was like 30 cash.
Yeah, the generation thing that's coming out. Something like that. I remember that.
Yeah, like Naruto Full Burst. So maybe Dragon Ball will do something like that. Dragon Ball Super Full Burst or whatever. That'll be 30 cash. And then for the new players, it'll be 60 again or something like that.
Because I did find it odd that I still don't understand how they can separate a whole player base. Because remember, rollback's only going to be on PS5 and PC. And I know a lot of people, for one, don't play this game on PS5. A lot of people still are on the last gen console. So that I found that also very, very odd that they decided to completely skip the last gen, make rollback only PS5 exclusive or Xbox Series X exclusive and PC. So it's like something has to be changing in order to that, because it's just a network change. Why would that not be on PS4 as well?
I mean, I agree, because Strive is running on PS4 and seems to be working fine, right? But like. I'm no game developer. I don't want to say anything that makes me sound like an ass. I don't want to talk down on the difficulty of something like this. So I'm not gonna
Right. It's definitely not easy. I'm not definitely trying to downplay it either.
But it could, if they were just like planning on releasing a new game with rollback only for PS5 and PlayStation with like some level of backwards compatibility with the old game. Because they said that there would still be possible to play the old, version, right? That's something that they mentioned.
Yeah, they said you can choose between it. Yeah.
I think that means this is going to be a different game title. That you can boot up a different game.
It's taking long. It's taking a very long time, which I'm very.
So honestly, it's going to be I mean, we can theorize, play armchair theorists all we want, but at the end of the day, we just kind of got to take it. Whatever they show us is going to happen.
Yeah.
I have no insider information. I was trying to get top 8 so I can, sniff around and see if I can find Hiroki and ask her questions and shit. But no, I didn't make it. Bro.
Actually, that's one of my questions. Is there amongst the players, amongst the players, the top tier players, is there a clique that they actually have? Is that you can't join this group chat because you're not top 3 player? Is that a? Do you ever get those kinds of vibes? I don't think we have that in the U.S., but I don't know about the Japan scene.
Yeah, you can't join the Skeezer Cord if you're not the GOAT.
The Skeezer, send me a link to the Discord, gang. Send me a link to the Discord, Skeezer. The man there.
The Discord, Skeezer.
Send me a link to the Discord,
Skeezer Discord.
Boot out the bots.
No, but I mean, if there was something like that, I wouldn't know about it because I'm not invited.
Oh, got it. Yeah, you're spitting. You're spitting. At least you're honest.
He's honest, yeah.
I have a very realistic understanding of my skill level at this game. Okay, let's.
Yeah, leaking in the naughty chat. All right.
Like, I know that we have a couple of different Discords that people would use on different occasions. We actually a couple of months ago, back in 2020, during 2022, we started a Discord here in the Japanese community, just for people who wanted to play the PC version. because some people had the game on Steam, like they either bought the game with a VPN or something. Because you can't actually buy the game on Steam in Japan. If your Steam region is set to Japan, you can't buy Dragon Ball Fighters. My theory on why this is Sony bribed them into not allowing it in Japan so that they could sell it on PlayStation instead. Or the actual Xbox Game Pass version that's available on like Windows PC. We call it the Windows version. That's available here in Japan, and that has PC grade netcode. So we would actually play on the Game Pass version of the game here in Japan because we didn't want to play on PS4 NetPlay. But so we have that Discord. That's like a pretty open one. Most people are in there. Goichi's in here for fuck's sake. Like he shows up and asks for games from time to time. So I would assume that if Goichi is asking this Discord, it means he doesn't have a more elite, smaller Discord to ask for games. You know what I'm saying? Like when Goichi was playing, he would show up here, and I probably like show you guys some of the stuff. Like
you don't gotta leak it. You just know Goichi wants to farm you guys. That's the truth. He just wants to farm you guys. That's all it is. Goichi's like, let me see if I can. Goichi's like, let me see if I can still cook the mid-level players real quick. Let me see.
my point stands. Like when he does this, he'll still end up playing with fucking Taco and Oblivion. Like he's not playing like I'm not playing with him. Like he's playing with really good players, but he's coming here to find them. So I would say, to my knowledge, like some people I know, like Ikoan, Oblivion, and Taco, because they all traveled together and they all went to the same events in the the region, the Eastern region. They probably have like a group chat just with 3 of them, and that's because they're all going to be in a foreign country together, and they're going to eat dinner together, they're going to hang out, they're going to go see stuff, and outside of the game too. So maybe they have that kind of thing going on, but to my knowledge, there's no like super elite underground group chat that only like Kazunoko is still part of or something. Like no.
The game Illuminati there, right? Nah. Let me ask a super kite question. Let me ask a kite question. All right. So which region is actually the most dominant if you had to rank them by all 3? France, US.
The Japan. Major regions?
Yeah. The big three. That's a kite question. Hold on.
All right. Are we allowing Wawa to still be considered in France, or are we considered Wawa retired?
He's out. Nitro's
Wawa
out.
retired.
Actually, no. Nitro's not.
I'll let
every day.
Kite manage this question. Go ahead.
Wawa's out. He doesn't play. Nitro still counts because he plays this game every day. So.
Okay. Man. So, I think Inzem has leveled up a lot since Evo, and Inzem was definitely keeping up with Fenrich. So honestly, I'd have to say like Inzem might be like the defining factor for the US for me to argue like if you picked the 2 players, the 2 best players, like Pred, Nitro, and Inzem are all so close in the US. Like it's hard to just pick any 2 of them. But any 2 of them that you picked, I think would be any 2 from any other region.
So if you had to go down the scale,
built differently.
And we go down the scale from region to region to region.
I'd say that, like region to region, it's hard because I think personally, Fenrich is probably equal to any of the French players, but I still think that the best in the US are better than the best in France. So I'd say as a region, you have US is best. And then Fenrich, and then you have the French players. Then you have all the other Japanese players.
Okay.
USA wins.
See. All right, I'm gonna argue. I'm actually gonna argue the French side. They have Yasha.
That's facts.
Yasha 6-0 Nitro, and then.
Oh my God.
The thing is,
they definitely have Yasha.
Have like one player that's like an outlier. Like you can't rank them with the rest of their players, right? For France, it's going to be Yasha and Wawa, if you wanted to consider. Wawa's in the same category. You can't rank him. He doesn't scale to the rest of his region. He's just better, right? And
it's like that. Wait. I can't let that. I can't let you say that and slide. I can't. I don't think there's a huge gap between Wawa and Yasha. I don't think there's a gap.
No, I think Wawa and Yasha gap the rest of the French players.
So would Nitro and Pred gap the rest of the Americans?
Nitro, Pred, and Inzem gap the rest of the Americans. Absolutely.
I didn't throw Inzem there. I said Nitro and Pred, not Inzem.
Okay.
The top 2. I'm taking the top 2 because you mentioned the top 2 earlier.
Yeah, but
not a knock on Inzem, just the top 2.
Yeah, but if Inzem is considered part of the rest of America, well, no, they don't gap Inzem. They're very close. Like you have to like put the respect where it's due, right?
But I mean, Zayn definitely.
Then
Yeah, I think
Zayn
Zayn
is
true.
Zayn-
Zayn
Zayn-
definitely has a
Zayn-
conversation.
Yeah, I would put Zayn ahead of Enzim.
Honestly,
I think so too. Well, bro, we have no. I think if you put Inzem above Zayn, you're actually just recency bias. Zayn went to France at a super major and embodied all of them. So
Yeah,
You're
I
actually
think
right. You're actually
Zayn
right. Zayn-
over
Zayn
Enzim
also
was
more
not.
Finland
consistent as well.
handled Kane and Wade. He didn't have to run into.
In a head-to-head, though, I think Inzam actually does really well against Zayn, doesn't he?
I think it'll be a good set.
I don't think they
between
ever
the two.
played.
I don't think they ever played either, but I just feel
Really?
like we had a conversation like 2 podcasts ago about
With double L.
Enzim's consistency and the double L thing, and Zayn in his first offline, like from there to now, the consistency is actually insane, and that was like one of his first tournaments. So I can't give it to Enzim, even though I think Enzim and Zayn are like very strong. I wouldn't say Zayn is that much ahead of Enzim, but if we're gonna choose tournament placements as well as somebody that's not gonna like fold in the moment, I'm gonna choose Zayn over it. For now, I think Enzim is still like really up there, but I will put Zayn slightly over it.
I respect that opinion completely. I think Zayn is incredibly crazy, and part of like what makes him so scary is the fact that he just plays like a different style of team than like the rest of like the really like high, power players you think of, right?
Yep.
And he's kind of like succeeding in his own like unique way. Like the fact that he's like a Zamasu main and this is like something that like I noticed here in Japan too. Like Pengyon, the guy like Taco had to play round 1, he's like the Zamasu player here in Japan. Well, Mado too, but Mado I think is just done. He quit. But when Mado was still playing, he was a Zamasu player, and like Pengyon is the best Zamasu probably in Japan, and he was definitely like one of like the heavy hitters at this event. But granted, he had like the most cursed like run because he was in the same like bracket line as Taco and Ikoan.
That's tough.
He didn't make top 8. Yeah, it was tough. It's tough.
So okay.
But I think Japan overall is not quite good enough. I guess final answer, but Fenrich is an outlier. And then so I would rank Japan as the weakest regions like overall, but each region was going to have their outlier players, and I think Fenrich is going to be that outlier player.
Gotcha.
So okay, have you been? I don't know this, but have you been following Dragon Ball? I guess since the beginning.
So when the game first came out, I had a friend who he really got into the game and he kind of dragged me into it, and I would play with him like almost exclusively, just like net play. Like this is when I was still in school, like in college, and but I started to follow the competitive scene after Summon of Power. Watching Hook win was the hypest thing ever, and like I realized right there I was hooked. Right, that's actually the moment I realized. Like man, this is
peak Dragon Ball around. That was definitely kind of like peak Dragon Ball around that time.
That's when I began to appreciate the competitive like fighting game aspect of like Dragon Ball Fighters and fighting games in general, right? That was really when I started to follow the kind of competitive scene. And I've always enjoyed watching the game more than playing it myself, right? I'm not that good at the game, right? So it's like I get diminishing returns on labbing and shit. So I just prefer to watch, and that's why I do some commentary actually for the game. But I've just enjoyed watching it and analyzing stuff, but because I'm not that good at it, I have some hot takes that maybe some people think are a little bit weird.
We spoke about this, right? We spoke about this last week with Callie, right? We said that a lot of the times some players need to realize, whether this is you yourself included or not, but we were saying a lot of players need to realize that if they're not that great at the game, they're probably a better coach, because sometimes the weakest players, air quotes, make the best coaches. So we were mentioning the fact that some people should pursue coaching instead of playing full time if they can't. They have all the knowledge in the world, but they can't execute it. But if you give that knowledge to somebody else who can execute it,
Yeah, that's definitely true. Like there's only so much you can get from like observing, and like that doesn't translate 1-to-1 to execution. It does play like into like everyone's a little bit different, right? Me personally, I have pretty poor hand-eye coordination. I am actually quite bad at execution, so I don't have like the potential to really succeed at fighting games. And this is something I recognize for myself. I'm not like embarrassed about it. It's just who I am, right? Like not everyone can perform the same kind of like really high level maneuvers, especially for fighting games that are more intensive than Dragon Ball. Like I've been frustrated with Melty Blood because I have a hard time doing a half circle sometimes, right? Like or Guilty Gear Strive. So I don't like Guilty Gear that much because I can't do a half circle, like a half circle. What do they do it for the super? It's like back half circle or something like that. Like that's hard for me. It's not easy.
Now we gotta ask Lawless. We gotta ask, how old are you?
I'm 26. I'm 26.
Hey.
I'm sorry, J-Bo, but your prime years is tapping out right now.
Oh, it's definitely tapping out. Oh yeah. Yeah, I was watching some old play of me playing. I was like, damn, I used to have them reactions, but hell no, it's gone.
Father Tom is like, yo, what's the word?
That shit is leaving.
Father Tom is yo, J-Bo, yo, what you doing, gang?
Yo, I'll be falling asleep mad early now. I used to be able to play all night. Nope.
Nah, yeah.
I used to be up till 3, 4 a.m.
No. So
what do you? 11 o'clock. I'm asleep.
Done.
So Lawless. So then, all right. So the follow up is do you think the players in Japan aren't honest with themselves?
Regarding how good they are.
Yeah.
Like how they scale up to the other players. Oh, absolutely. Like and like goes back to the Japanese culture, but they don't have this like cockiness about their skill, right? Like Fenrich will pull up in his mind. He'll probably be like, "Man, I'm about to get washed," and then just kill everyone, right? Like he will easily like beat like I'd say 9 out of 10 people, he plays with, right? Like at the Australian event, he literally sat at one station. Winner stays on for like 3-4 hours. I think no one moved him. No one took a game off of this guy, right? But he doesn't like think he's nice, right? He doesn't talk about how nice he is. It's just not a thing that they do. The Japanese players just don't do this, right?
You saying they're humble, like really, really humble.
Absolutely. Very, very humble players, and they always, they to almost to the extent where it feels like he's being fake, right? But it's like, oh come on, you're nice, right? But like he will not like make it like an ego out of it, right? Fenrich is maybe a little bit more extreme than some of the other players, but like even like Taco, like I mentioned, like before like the bracket started on Saturday, like he sat down, he's like, man, I'm fucked. He said, I'm fucked. He's like, I've got to play Peñon first, and then even if I can beat him, he beat him 2-1 by the way. It wasn't a 2-0, I think. Maybe I could be wrong, but then he's got to play Ikoan next, and he's he beat Ikoan at I think he beat Ikoan at the Taiwanese event, but he's not like confident that he can win because he knows how good he is and he respects his skill, right? So and it's going to be a little bit different for each player, of course, but they have this like appreciation for how good other people are, and they never like to assume a free win over anybody, right? But
I got that same vibe. I actually got the same vibe when I met Goichi at UFA. Goichi was sitting at a station on the side, and he was just playing everybody. Like, he didn't care who came up to the station. He didn't care who came up next or who had next, whatever. He was just like, nah, we're going to play. Like, we're going to play until tournament starts, and that's completely fine with me. And overall, like, he was just there beating everybody for, like, an hour, 2 hours plus until bracket started. There's no issues with that at all, which was more than willing to play.
Oh. Yeah, and the other thing is like so Fenrich, even during like the pandemic days, he would actually boot up his stream. He used to stream on YouTube, and then he switched to Mildom. A lot of the Japanese players used this platform for a while. It's a terrible platform. All of them had like exclusivity contracts with it though, so they got paid to use the platform. And when those contracts ran out, they all left. Like Goichi came to Twitch, and I think Fenrich still uses YouTube when he streams, but he doesn't stream Dragon Ball anymore. But when he was streaming Dragon Ball, he would regularly he'd just play with anybody. Fenrich is very chill when he's streaming. Actually, he's very very fun to play against when he streams.
I've been seeing him stream on Twitch.
So when he streams, like the different like pro players back in like 2019, 2020, like early 2020 when even like Tachikawa was still playing a little bit, Kazunoko was still playing, like. They each have like their own like different like style for when they stream. Kazunoko, when he was still streaming the game and like playing net play, like just to like stay in practice because he was part of the 2020 World Tour thing. Like if he didn't think you were worth it, he'd 2-0 you and just leave.
That's amazing.
To be fair, he's the GOAT, right? But like Fenrich is a little bit different. He's like, oh, man, he'll play like a long set with anybody. Just for fun, like while he's streaming. Like, so there's actually like some content vulture uploaded a set of me versus Fenrich, and I got like 1 or 2 games off of him because he was streaming, right? And like oh, who is this OG Vegito player? I used to play Vegito in like 2020, but I was terrible at this game, right? And I got like 1 or 2 games on him. It's like, oh, Vegeta player watches Fenrir. It's like, well, no, that's not the point. Like,
When you take
I just
the
got lucky.
game set out of context.
Yeah. It's like, bro, content vocals are a different breed. Like,
Bro,
you
I just
can't.
clicked randomly. I'm not gonna lie. I just clicked a random spot and he TOD'd off an assist from Gogeta Blue.
Oh, and the guy he's playing against, Kuzumoto, he's quite good. He was at
That's
the
ridiculous.
power event. He's the one who knocked me out of the tournament. I play with him online a lot. He's very, very friendly guy. I met him for the first time this weekend. He's quite good. He's quite good.
Go ahead, my fault.
No, I was just gonna say, like, he's no slouch, right? He's not some rando. He's one of the guys from the Discord server. He's actually the one who started the Discord server to let people play with each other on PC. Because you can't go out, you can't hop on PC net play and find someone. You have to. It's like a Discord game on PC.
He wasn't lying. They were playing for like a clean 2 hours almost. Holy.
Yeah, like when Fenrir is streaming, he's super chill. He'll just play for fun. But when he's offline, this is when the difference comes. He becomes
Fen Liddy.
Well, yeah, he becomes familiar. When he's playing offline, he approaches everyone with full strength, even if he's just playing casuals. No one gets the easy Fenrich offline.
That's how it should be.
No one gets the easy Fenrich offline. Offline, nah. There's no pull punches. He's not playing for fun. He's not laughing while he plays. Like maybe once in a while, like something like really strange happens, like during a set. You know, when something like crazy, like some crazy super dash. You know, you might laugh about it during the set. Nah.
What were you
when he's playing offline, he's cooking.
What were you gonna say, J-Bo? Sorry.
So basically, what I was saying is, from what I'm kind of putting together, from being around the French players, now talking to KF Lawless, getting a more understanding of Japan players, it seems as if the main thing that you guys have compared to like the US, the skill level part wouldn't really matter because it's more unity and it's less ego. So I can be a casual player, find my favorite pro player, and possibly even get games and get advice. Where here in the US, you might get clowned on, you might get roasted, this or this.
Yeah.
Like that's just being real. So that's why I also feel like you guys play. Well, not you guys, I guess it could be obviously there, but that's why Japan and the French, you see them playing other games, branching out, and more unity there. Where here in the US, it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to necessarily happen from what I'm hearing from you and then being around the French players and everything, because it just kind of seems like that. And I think that's something the US should kind of work on, because we should be having more unity, because that's what actually matters, not really about who's better at the game, because that's going to make the game last longer. And that's why, you know, that's just what I'm kind of putting together. It might not be true, but it's just something that, you know.
But I don't think there's an issue with that.
In that mindset. But I do want to say it's also kind of a chicken and egg problem, because over here the community of people playing the game is already so small. Like if you want to start like if you got like, you know, we had like what 26 people. If the guys at the top want to start like gatekeeping, just like, you know, just like say I don't want to play with you. I don't think you're good enough. Like, well, who are you going to play with? There's like 30 people here, but there's nobody here. Right?
You have no choice but to play with him.
Who else are you gonna play with?
But you can make that
like
that
the strong
argument,
players. Even sorry, go on.
I was gonna say like that whole argument there, right? It's how you say, because they're so little is the reason that they play, because the scene is already little, right? But us, we're spoiled. We have so many players, or not so many, but we have more than 20. So because we have more options, we're like, I don't want to play you, J-Bo. I will play Kite instead. I have that luxury.
Like, I even do it at times too. I'm not.
Oh, that's I was
do it
kidding.
at times myself. Like
I don't do that, but that's
I do it sometimes. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like yeah, people are like yeah, I'm not doing that.
But
it's okay.
I'm saying, it's the luxury that we
have.
have.
Though.
But I'll say, Jay, but I agree with Lawless in that if you only had 10 people, you probably wouldn't.
I'm gonna play for sure. Yeah.
See, because you don't want to go from 10 to 9. That's
And like the thing about like this past event specifically, right? Like, okay, there were 26 people, but like we really scraped the bottom of the barrel to get 26 people. Like some of the people who like were at this event, like they weren't people on the leaderboard for the world tour. They were people who used to play the game and just came back just for fun to see their friends. Hero, he hasn't entered a tournament in months. Like, he was there. He's cooking. He's still nice. He's helping like the other like the top players like Lab, like the top like the competing ones, like Taco, Oblivion, Ikoan, even Poison Apple. I'll talk about Poison Apple in a second. He's a brilliant kid, but like Hero hasn't played competitively. He's there to have fun. He's just trying to play with people, right? And he's like dragged himself out of retirement just to go enjoy the game, and we had people dragging themselves out just like just to show up, and we still only had like 26 people. Like Pepe doesn't really compete that, like he got top 8. He doesn't really compete that well anymore. Like if maybe thought his gameplay was whack or something, I don't blame you because he doesn't really play that often anymore, right? And like Hero, same thing. Garu, he's kind of like just a store owner. He made top 8 though, but he's like just kind of like. He only plays Dragon Ball Fighters like once, like every like 2 or 3 months. It's like, like these guys showed up just to hang out with their friends.
That's crazy. Right? You know what's crazy is that you compare that to America, and people that play this game every day religiously can't go to the locals. That's crazy.
Ooh, let's call them out, Kite.
Yeah. Honestly, support your locals. Like the game dies when you stop supporting the people who put in the effort to make events, right? Like even if it's just like something small, like a weekly exhibition set or a weekly like bracket, like show up. Like especially if it's free to enter, show up and play. If you got the time, right? Like not everyone has the time.
They say, man, I hate this game. I hate it so much.
And then boot up
on Steam. Played this game 10 minutes ago.
6,000 hours, 8,000 hours.
Man, I hate this game. They had the next online tournament.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Los. I actually have that here in Atlanta. It was a time period where it was growing, and we got a lot of players. Like I was able to go to my local every week and play, and now it's like dead. Nobody's playing anymore. It's literally 2 of us, 3 of us here. So I see what you mean by that. Like, at least, do you still have people that come out that at least want to vibe, and they don't really care about winning or losing. They just want to vibe out, see people. You definitely gotta appreciate that, yeah.
100%, like actually like during like 2020 and 2021, like when I like was first like living here, this was I mentioned before my friend Colossus. He used to be like a Fighting Tuesday player, and then he moved to Osaka. Before he moved to Osaka, we used to just meet up. There's like an arcade in like part of Tokyo that has like a free rental area. You pay $10. You can sit there for 5 hours, bring your own game system. They have monitors, they have internet, they have whatever you want. You just set up and you just play whatever you want. A free play area. The 2 of us, just the 2 of us, we basically tweet out, hey, we're going to be bringing an offline setup for DBFZ to this arcade at this time today. Anybody who wants to show up, come through. Most of the time, it's just the 2 of us. Sometimes Pepe would show up and play with us too. Sometimes Kawamatsu would come. They're busy guys, right? Like sometimes they can come, sometimes they can't. But like steadily, week after week, it would honestly most of the time just be me and him running sets for like 5 hours, right? Like just because we wanted to play offline. And that's how we became friends, right? Before he moved. Now I can't do it anymore because he lives on the other side of the country, unfortunately. So I'm all by myself. But and also like I wanted to say this too when I was talking about like the people who pulled up for the World Tour event. We had a player named Poison Apple join the event. He's a Korean player. He lives in Korea. We became friends with him because he joined the Japanese PC Dragon Ball Fighters Discord. He joined the Discord for the PC players because he had the game on Steam over there and he couldn't find anyone to play with in Korea. It wasn't that popular. But the connection between Japan and Korea, at least on PC, is very, very doable, right? So he would actually play with us a lot, just like casual sets. Because like he wasn't allowed to like enter like the Japanese like tournaments for the World Tour. He wasn't, in a Japan region. But he flew over here for the weekend to play Dragon Ball Fighters with us. And so, Hero pulled up, Penguin pulled up. Everyone pulled up just to play sets with him, and he got top 8. He's really good. He's quite strong, Like Kawamatsu pulled up too, and like they were like labbing against him, and like just having fun playing. And
did we say it, Kite? Did we say it? Did we say it, Kite?
Go for it.
I need to go to y'all locals. If people are able to take airplanes just to go to a tournament, there's no reason why you can't go 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes down to your local. Unless you have an actual excuse, unless you have a legitimate excuse that you have to do something or whatever.
Here's me putting New York on blast for the 5th time.
Oos.
Bruh. I drive 3 hours to New York, bruh. Y'all can take that trip. Bubbles lives in Jersey. Sage lives in Jersey. Why do I not see y'all at every TSL, every HOC, bruh? Come on, man.
But like one of those reasons, it really comes down to the fact that there's just gonna be another one next week, right? It's kind of like I'm gonna go to the gym starting Monday. I'm gonna go to the gym Monday, and every Monday comes, and you never go to the gym. It's the same thing with TSL, right? I'm gonna go next week to my local. Now I'll go next week, and then little by little, I start doing it. J-Bo starts doing it. Kite starts doing it.
I'll go next week. Yep.
Yeah, I'll go next week. And now from 20 people that would have entered, now it's down to 17, 16.
I hear you.
And it starts dying slowly. You know this in Atlanta. You know this.
Yeah, I know this. Yeah,
Slowly but surely, it starts dying.
Definitely happened just like
that's why. That's why I like Bum. I don't know if Bum is still here. That's why I like Bum not doing it every week, because this motherfucker will do it once a month. And then everyone's like, man, I want to play offline. I want to play offline, and then don't show up to AOC. That's the funny part.
You get spoiled when you have it. When you have it every week, you take it for granted.
Spoiled.
You take it for granted because you're like, oh, I could just come next week, right? But when Bump starts doing it every month or every 2 weeks or whatever, you're like, wait, I gotta go. Like, you actually cancel plans that you have because you really want to go to this tournament. Like, you had to go out. Nah, I can't go out with you, baby. I gotta go to this tournament. Like, you make that effort happen.
Bro, I hope y'all get wives or girlfriends that understand when you say you want to go play some fighting games, bro. If I did that shit, I'm like,
I get roasted.
Daniel, what's the over under on TSL this week, bro?
Over under, sheesh.
It's Christmas though.
Over 30?
Christmas Eve, and wait, hold on. It's Christmas Eve, and it's the first TSL after ages, 2 years plus. Under 25. Because it's Christmas Eve. No, it's because it's literally 2 days before Christmas. That's why.
Well, yeah, I know how New York gets in Christmas though. It's probably the worst time to be.
At least
the street.
The 24th is like, yeah, that's a dub. Brother. That's a big dub. The 24th is a dub. That's a dub. But the 23rd, I did not miss that. I'll say under 25, 27 max. But hopefully I'm wrong, and there's way more people that pull up.
I'm jealous, man. I've always wanted to go to TSL or AOC. Like, I visit the States quite often, actually, for work and then just for like vacation, like to see my family. And like I never get to go to New York though. I just don't have any reason to go to New York. My family doesn't live there. I don't have a lot of like customers over there. And so like when I come to the States, I'm usually just in Michigan because I work with cars and shit.
Have
so
you been
Michigan
to New York?
is
coming on.
I've been like once or twice, but
okay.
Are you coming to the LCQ?
Maybe. I'm actually like kind of in the process of like changing jobs. So depending on how that goes and what the timeline is, if I have the time off, I'd love to go. I really do want to go, especially if some of the other Japanese players are going, right? Like I'll room with them, and it's more fun when you room with other people, split the cost, have a good time together.
Whole experience, yeah.
I forgot about this.
A lot of fun at Evo, and it's like. That kind of experience is worth it. Even well, life isn't just about making money, just doing nothing with it.
Man, it's experiences.
Like you work to live, you don't live to work. Like God,
net positive.
Yeah,
but
this is the things that matter.
This is one thing that's also true that I completely forgot about. They were talking about the locals. No Kami did fly from North Carolina to HOC. That is a fact.
Man,
that was like season 1, season 2. Definitely it was very early in the game, early in the game's life. What I'm saying is, like Lawless saying, people are flying from Korea. If you guys truly, really want to support your locals, yeah, definitely should. It takes effort, yeah, but if you really want to have a scene, you really want to get better, and you want to fly out, because think about it. I think you mentioned this, Lawless, earlier. You was like, I wish I had a TSO that I can go to. So we have that privilege. We're spoiled, and we don't notice that we're spoiled.
Yeah, I don't really think I understand.
Especially the people from New York. I don't think we realize. I mean, I know this because I kind of know this. We say it, but I don't think people that live here in New York realize how spoiled we actually are. We're actually really, really spoiled.
Yo, Daniel, take it like this,
bro. I make sure that I tell New York players that every time, bro.
Yo, you guys enter brackets, bro. You guys might go home with like 500. Or something. I enter a bracket in Atlanta. I paid so $10 entry, if I had to play whatever, $15 entry, right? If I win, I'm getting $20, bro. I'm getting nothing. I'm not doing anything. I'm not getting anything. So it's just like, even with the money you're possibly getting and the opportunity you get, not only are you getting the practice, you're also getting rewarded from it. And then you have Bum, one of the most. My man's literally top 10 and the most viewed FGC streamers as far as like fighting games. Like you have that at your local every week. Even if you're not the best player, let's say you want to get into content kind of like you are, Daniel. I'm not saying you're a bad player, but you're a good player and you're doing content creation.
Yo, Kai took shots at me last week. Now you taking shots at me, gang? It's like that.
I ain't take no shots at you, bro.
I'm steering the hot seat.
I'm saying, like, you can commentate with Bum and your stocks and go pew, 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 and not even have to play the game. So like when you have somebody like that, bro, if I had that, bro, I'd be there. It'd be like a second job for me on some real. Just because I have somebody who actually cares as much as I do.
Yeah, to carry the scene, to pull the scene from the depths of the ocean.
My man's bum be doing it, man. I don't even know how he do it, but he do it.
Yeah.
Shout out to him too. Yo, Lawless, we gotta play some Melty, man. I started playing it again. I'm ass, but
yeah, I'd love to. Honestly, lately I've had I'm very busy these days. I don't have a lot of time for games in general. Like I practiced for the for the power event for about a week before this past weekend. Like I picked up like a side job and I run my own business too on the side. So like I have like a full-time job and a side job and my own business.
How do you feel, bro? I'm in that same boat as you. 26. I wish I had like my old time to play video games like I used to. Bro, it's not there, bro. I get like 2-3 hours myself. I haven't played fighters or anything like a week now. I just got on today. It's like, damn.
And on top of that, like we just adopted 2 kittens.
So, like, congratulations, bro! Congratulations.
Oh shit.
They're a lot of work. I'll tell you this.
Man.
Bro, I swear to God, I came home from work yesterday. They took the fucking potatoes out of the bag and they're playing with them on the floor. I find one under the TV in the living room and one behind the fridge. Like, why are y'all playing with the potatoes? Like, why the potatoes?
Shout out to all the kittens. But wait, Lawless. So I don't know if you said it, but who are the 2 Japanese players who are favorite to win LCQ, would you say?
If I had to, obviously Fenrich. If anyone has it, well, oh wait, sorry, he's already qualified. He doesn't have to play. Yeah. He doesn't have to play. That's stupid. I mean, Oblivion and Equan, right? No one else is really, in the conversation as far as.
I guess we can
players.
have like a general conversation about like who's going to LCQ and like who's
favorite to win.
Oblivion might go. I think he has a higher chance of going just because, like I said, he's really young. He can afford to maybe skip a little bit of school, whatever. It's fine. And he might, he'll stay with Taco and stuff. But Ikowan's a grown ass man. He's a working adult. I don't know if he could go. That's kind of like the second part. Is like it's not only that he has to take the time off work, it's that he has to pay for the whole thing himself. He's not qualified. No one's paying for his hotel. No one's paying for his flight.
Do I say it? Wait, do I say it?
Investment for him.
Negative?
Yeah, no, not that. It's 00, right? These sponsored players are pay to win.
Pay to win, yeah.
Absolutely, 100%.
Unironically, they're paid to win.
Is this true though? Because I know when Lex said it. Oh, I know he was serious, but I took it as a meme. But
no, it's actually like
it's a real thing.
It's slick true.
It's a real thing.
Slick true.
I think it's like when a pro player gets well known, like Fenrich is known even across the world. Even though he doesn't really speak English when he streams, he only speaks in Japanese. But even then, people who only speak English will pop up and just say hey, what's up, right? So it's not only about victory. After a certain point, the victory transcends to a reputation for the player, which leads to content, streaming and stuff, Hook. He hasn't competed, but he's one of the most one of the biggest Dragon Ball FighterZ players. It's just because he's entertaining as fuck, and his sponsor doesn't rely on him getting victory. He's not paid to win. He's paid to be himself.
I want to say pay to win. I think it's easier on you as far as financials. I want to say
paid to
perform. Pay to win, yeah.
Right, it's paid to build your reputation.
Yeah, paid your worth.
Yeah, because exactly. Even now, overseas, Cyclops Gaming is a household name for the Dragon Ball community, even in France and the US, because they know, that's Goichi and Fenrich's team, right? Right. So their team gets exposure by their players being prominent figures in the game community, either through competition and victory, right? You seize that popularity. People have to know your name because you're the one winning, or because you're a content creator and you're really entertaining. And those are both perfectly valuable skills to have. Right? I'm not saying one is better than the other, but the actual competition part. I think when Fenrich went to Australia, I don't know how much cash he won, but he walked away with 4 different headsets. Each tournament he won gave away a pair of headphones as the first place prize. So he got home with 3 brand new nice ass gaming headsets. He's like, what do I do? And I remember at Evo he got one too for top 8 at Dragon Ball. They gave him a nice gaming headset. He probably has 500 nice headsets in his house, right? Like, and like, there's not like his sponsor is not paying for him to win, because even if he wins, like, I think like sponsors usually take a cut of your winnings, but there's not that much to take a cut from. They're paying you for the exposure and for people to know your brand, right?
Do you think I actually want to tackle that real quick? When people go to Evo, Combo Break, all these big tournaments and stuff, right? Is it worth getting a stick versus just getting that money? Like, let's say that stick is worth $200. Would you rather get that stick or get plus $200 or whatever?
You mean like the top 3 Evo sticks that like Nitro, Yasha, and Wawa got?
Yeah, like, maybe Evo is exclusive, but like other tournaments when they give you headsets, would you rather those headsets or still 60 cash?
Headset free.
Yeah, it depends. It depends. Like for me personally, I actually need a new headset.
Evo, I definitely want a stick.
100%. Like I told him, like I was talking to Nitro after Evo, like if I give you like $7,000 right now, would you give me the stick? He's like 100%.
But like, no disrespect to Nitro, is like he's not making that type of money. You know what I'm saying? For somebody like me, like I'm not gonna say I make the most money. I'm not rich, but I mean, I make some good money. So it's like if I have something that will always remind me of my accomplishment, like a Evo stick, I'm not selling that because
the souvenir.
That's priceless to mine. Yeah, it's a souvenir. It's a trophy in a sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it's money for me. Yeah, I don't live around money, so it depends on the person. I feel so. Some people will want that cash, and I can't blame you for wanting that cash.
Everyone's life is like scales a little bit differently.
Yeah,
like for some and like for me, like if I really wanted it, like I wouldn't pay for a stick someone else won. That's kind of stupid, right? But like just like theoretically, if I did want, I could afford to spend $7K for a
right.
Nice
if you really wanted it,
like,
right? Yeah.
If something I really wanted, maybe, but that sounds like even still, like that's kind of a weird thing to spend money on. Is something else one, like,
but
yeah, like I would survive the purchase, right? I could survive the purchase.
Just want to keep it. You want to take it to the grave. Nobody can know you made that purchase. They'd be like, "You really did that?" Yeah. One of those.
Guy, was there something you want to ask about garlic?
Oh yeah, so I was gonna segue into because we're talking about LCQ. So it's pretty much like there's 2 weeks technically left in the World Tour, but I doubt that it'll change that much. And Garlic Bread actually qualified this Friday, on an online tournament
over Jake Ryan, right?
He was never qualified.
Nope, Jake Ryan was qualified at 110 points, and Garlic Bread won the tournament on PC, and he got 25 points, so he's now 5 points ahead of Jake, and he is going to World Tour Finals. Yeah,
at this point, it's kind of like the awkward thing where it gets kind of petty. Like, Jake could like run his own tournament and enter and get like 10 people to join and then get his own points. It's like, well, would you do that? Like, at that point, it's like
gotta be worth it, yeah.
Like come to an agreement.
How bad do you want it?
I don't know. I have no idea how bad Jake Ryan wants it. If he wants to go, he's got to figure something out, right? Like, but
there are no online.
Well, if he's going to Frosty, does Frosty count for it?
No.
The points for Frosty?
Frosty's in February.
No,
it's already
it's
already over. Yeah, right. You're right. It is February. Damn.
So
I mean, I wouldn't blame Jake if he did it, but it's up to him, like you said, if he really wanted to.
What has changed in the last week is obviously Taco is now at second. Who else? All right, so East Asia, Sansis took it over Sorsa because I think Sansis went to another tournament. Yeah, he went to Taiwan. So him getting fourth at Taiwan put him ahead of this other dude. Southeast Asia, it's still that S-Steel guy. Australia, it's actually not Raptor. Some dude named Novix.
Mm-hmm.
And Brazil, obviously, it's Z-Leech.
So actually, funny about Novix. Novix is my boy. I love him. He's very, very funny guy. But like, I think Raptor's plane got like delayed on the way to the only offline event in Australia.
That's so unfortunate.
Yeah, I remember him tweeting about it. That's truly the biggest heartbreak you can experience.
That sucks.
See,
man.
So this goes into a greater criticism of the World Tour standards is that Kane definitely did not do what he needed to do to qualify at Finland because he had to win. But obviously we know Enzem cooked them. So if this were a normal tour, it would be Wade. But another thing that happened this week is Kane played in Kasuga's online event like a few days ago, and he got the points he needed to pass Wade.
Wait, so he just passed Wade after?
Yep, he just passed Wade on
it feels kind of cheap. It cheapens the the qualification because because you entered more online tournaments. So
Wow.
like why Nitro is like he let himself get like passed out of the top 2 because he didn't want to play any online tournaments. He's like, I want everything I showed up to offline, but I don't want to play online, so you guys can have it. Like, bro.
Damn.
Yep.
It's
Yeah, I
rough.
feel like they should have did auto qualify free. Like Evo, definite auto qualifier. Like some things should just be as simple as that. Nobody simple. You're not gonna just say casually, "Oh, I'm gonna win Evo." It's not casually gonna do that. So if you get that, you should be qualified. It just that sucks. But once again, it just kind of shows that like we have a standard and some things we want for the game, they're just not gonna do for us. And they show us it every single time. And we have this copium like, oh no, they're gonna do it, they're gonna fix it. And it's right there in our face. They don't really care. They know they're gonna make the money. They know people are gonna enter. Just like shit.
It's a hard balance of like, you know, wanting the people who like, you know, deserve it to be able to like qualify, but at the same time balancing it with trying to give everyone a chance.
Right, exactly, yeah.
There's no like perfect answer. Like I understand like
tour,
it's frustrating.
It's a true world tour. A true world tour. Everybody can play. But
Yeah,
It's
everyone
a
can
World
play.
Tour,
not
but the
gonna-
best players
you're
are not in the
going
World
to, You're
Tour.
not gonna get the P competition. You're not.
Right.
And that's why things, you know, if you really want like super like sweaty competitive, that's where things like, you know, an invitational are more beneficial. You know, something like the summit, you know, bums like heat wave. This is not an invitational. It's more like the prize pool is so big you feel like you should go.
I think they should do it like how like Call of Duty does it in like a legal system type of thing. So of course you have your. I mean, it's different because it's team game based off a 1v1 fighter, but it's like you have your league of players that are the top players to do it, but then you also have like your amateur bracket or whatever from there, and then everybody at the end of the year you add up all the points, you add up all the whatever, and then you go at it. But then again, like they have to put money and stuff into this game, so that's why I want to see what Project L is going to do because I know they have a lot of money backing it. It's free to play, so I wonder if they'll change the system up for fighting games. But I think it just the system has to change on both sides for the players' pace and as well as the people who are making the game and making it.
Yeah, because you know, at the end of the day, you know, the companies making these games, they're companies. They need to find a way to
make their money. Yeah,
profits.
it's business. It's a business at the end of the day.
And so when you if you have like a league, like okay, say we invite the top 16 players and then we let 16 other players qualify for like a 32 bracket. Okay, well, if there's 16 players don't have to play at all, but they're already qualified. You know, the world tour, like the world finals will be a 32-man bracket. Okay, but then like what are they gonna do? Just not practice at all? Like no, they have to keep playing. But like if they're not gonna be entering tournaments, then is it, you know, really that interesting? And
So then, how do you feel about the fact that this World Tour is going to be a World Tour without the actual best players?
that's weird. Like Wawa and Nitro not being part of it is kind of like awkward, but I guess it's just a side effect of the game just not being as popular as it used to.
Yeah.
Like if Wawa and Nitro enjoyed playing and they felt like it was worth it, you know, one way or the other, they'd play regardless. Right?
Now, Nitro actually said that he is not joining because of the format.
Yeah, I respect that. I respect that.
Unless he gets that sub goal or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's at the some goal for the LCQ, but honestly, he's just going to show up and dick around and
Sub up to Nitro. Sub up to Nitro. He needs 300.
Yeah,
He's got
sub up
70.
to him, yeah.
Nah, don't sub to Nitro so he can all prove a point to Bandai. No sub to him.
No, I think you're
not-
trying
you're
to
not
stick
gonna
it to
get
the
the
man like that doesn't really
You're
work,
not
bro.
gonna get the best.
Like I'm gonna be honest with you, Kai. I don't even think Bondi cares, and that's the sad part about it. They don't
That's
care.
some real shit.
Like this game is like
Nah,
I think
I think they actually care.
game.
I
They
think they care 'cause
care
they take a
very
hit.
little.
They care about their business. I feel more like not like player to player and actually having interaction with the community. They care about I'm gonna do whatever I can do that I know. It doesn't matter what type of player it is, as long as these players enter and my money's being made and my view count is doing that. I'm gonna make sure I do that part.
But you got to think about it. You got to think about it.
gotta follow
Jacob.
the money. You gotta follow the money.
And I respect it. I understand because this game. It's really sad to say, but we as a DBFZ community as well. You got to realize we're like year 5, almost year 6 now. So we're pushing past a certain stressful of the game, and eventually this was going to happen. It's unfortunate that COVID did mess up. We did get some time taken away from the game due to COVID. However, eventually this was going to happen. I just think that a lot of us that still have love for the game is sad to see it happening so soon, where we feel like, damn, it can still last a little bit longer, but I just think that the time period and what other games are showing, and a lot of people. I see somebody say earlier that rollback is harder to implement. It takes time to make. However, it's just like as a community, we sat and watched games get the rollback announcement, the beta test, and get released, and we still have nothing. Like we watched that for three other games.
From a logistic perspective, like the game came like near the end of like the era where, you know, delay-based netcode was still acceptable, and right before the rollback is now the industry standard.
I didn't even think about that either.
And when you think about it now, like, okay, as consumers, we now demand a certain, you know, threshold of quality for the games going forward, and part of that threshold includes rollback netcode for fighting games, and it's just the state of the industry. Dragon Ball came out before that, and when you consider how long it's been, you know, it's almost 5 running on 6 years. Dragon Ball, for the, you know, this is the first game in the Dragon Ball FighterZ franchise, has performed very, very well. At this point, you know, they've kind of accepted that it's going to be diminishing returns for their investment into the game. And that's part of why things feel kind of wonky now. Like, oh, no support from the developers and stuff. It's all, you know, the input and output, it's going to, like, change over time. And so now, even, you know, you can't deny that, like, the casual player base might still exist for this game, but it's much smaller. And the people who really pay attention to things like the World Tours, the people who are already competitive and are interested for that reason. But that audience itself, worldwide, and for other games too, is not really big enough to invest that much and get a positive return from the company's perspective, right? And this is like, I really think that another installment in the game series needs to happen. Something where, like, you know, Dragon Ball FighterZ 2 or Super Dragon Ball FighterZ needs to be big enough to actually, like, shake things up so that people will get back into the game because they think, hey, it's not just a patch, it's an actual, you know, follow-up, a sequel or something like that.
Right.
Okay. But I actually want to push
I'm
back.
That they do like, go ahead, Daniel, my fault.
I was gonna say, I actually want to push back because it's like, imagine advertising your baby, right? The being Dragon Ball in this scenario, and not having the best player. It's like the NBA promoting themselves and not promoting LeBron. It's like, yes, you'll still get views, but it won't pull as much as it will because you're missing the Wawa, the Nitros, these people, right? The Sonic, the Goichis. You're missing out on these players. So it'll still do, let's say arbitrary number 100. It'll still get 100 views, but it's not gonna get the 150 because you're missing out on our marquee players. So I do think it still takes a hit. If they truly want to maximize, I do think it still takes a hit for sure.
I agree, but I think it's a hit to an already small pool because, like I said, like the people who want to see Nitro versus Wawa versus, you know, the best players is the competitive scene. And it's already getting small enough, and they realize they can't do much to get it from getting that much smaller, like, over time, right? It's going to get smaller, and, you know, but the format does, you know, it does suck that, like, it's not the format that we want, that, you know, where the players that are at the top will feel happy playing with it, but honestly, you know, it's just kind of a shitty situation, and I don't think there's, like, an easy answer for it.
Yeah. But it's true, like what Skeezer's saying, right? Dragon Ball still has about 5K people playing the game every day. So there is a foundation. Really, there's still a base of players that have the game. BB Tag still has, what, 25 players? Like, this game actually has a lot of players who still play. So I do truly believe that those same 5,000 people are playing this game every day. They'll be like, damn, why when Nitro not in the tournament? I'm probably not gonna watch. Like, you know, you have people that be like, damn, my favorite player didn't enter? Alright, whatever. It's whatever to me now. It's kind of like when you watch a tournament and your favorite player gets DQ. You're kind of like, damn, you lose that
the personal investment.
Yeah, the personal investment. You lose that. Damn, my man's lost. All right, and you kind of slightly get disconnected, right? But some of people keep watching, and some people that would just click off the video. That's it. They're done watching. Damn, J-Bo lost. I'm done watching.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm being a bit pessimistic, right? If the game really does see, like, a huge, like, revival when the rollback drops, I personally think rollback alone won't do it. They're gonna have to announce another world tour with an actual, like, you know, good system, you know, where people actually will want to play in, and alongside that, like, maybe another round of DLC, who knows, or something. Something has to happen, but it's like the kind of thing that I think they need to really make the commitment to invest time into. And the rollback alone, like, it's a huge time investment. I don't think it would be enough to get the casuals, like, back into the game again, because the casual people who play this game, the people who play on Wi-Fi, fucking, you know, they're out here just doing super dash.
Like the one thing I actually kind of thought about with Dragon Ball as well, because you see on the leak it said like Dragon Ball Super Dragon Ball Fighters or whatever. if you notice kind of like how, and spoilers for anybody, well, not really big spoil, I'm not gonna spoil it, but spoilers for people with the new movie and the manga, you see how they're kind of like going in a new direction with Dragon Ball now. More Goten and Trunks, introducing more characters and things.
Yeah.
So maybe another reason why it's taking so long is they just might add more characters based off of, because that new movie, regardless of how anybody feels about it, it's one of their most highest making movies that they ever made, with the Beast Gohan and the new Piccolo and everything. So if I was them, if I'm not making a new game, or if I'm making content for Dragon Ball Fighters, I'm going to implement to try to make the most money I can make. You put Beast Gohan in this game, and you put some of the new androids with 2 or 3 legacy old characters, this game's gonna go crazy. Everybody's coming back.
But think about
Simply
it.
just because of that. With rollback.
J-Bo, Beast Gohan is a Xenoverse character.
Yeah, but like, I understand that, but a lot of characters are Xenoverse characters. Almost every character in Fighters is on Xenoverse as well.
No, I'm not saying that they can't be one to one. What I'm saying is like Beast Gohan, that literally looks like a Xenoverse character, like a character that belongs to Xenoverse.
I disagree. That character in Fighters would go crazy.
I think he'll make it into. If they make another season, like I think they might do like what they did with the Broly movie, where they announced the last DLC character at the beginning.
See, no, as Broly actually hit. The way they introduced him, we spoke about this. The way they introduced
executed that shit perfect.
That was
clean. The season 2 reveal schedule was fucking brilliant. They show both Gogeta and Broly at the end. They give you something to look forward to, and then they release. We had Jiren and Videl immediately. Then we had GT Goku and Janemba. And when Janemba came out, we saw like the preview for Gogeta. That was the best season for as far as like the commercialization of the DLC.
Marketing team, you got to raise for sure, because they was definitely 100%. On it.
Yeah.
They know when to announce it. They did everything. Everything was
because you knew who was at the end. It was the 2 hypest characters, is Gogeta Blue and fucking S Broly. Like everyone was happy to see them go. Gogeta Blue kind of ass when he came out, but like now, like how far he's come, right?
Now look at him, yeah. Look where he's at now.
I think they have enough content to make another round of DLC, and I think if they time it right and they announce like I said, I want to see them announce Beast Gohan or release him immediately. Like that's the kind of thing that gets people back into this, right?
Like
now, personally, I have my own choices for who I want to see personally for DLC. Right? It's probably a little bit different from everyone else, but I want Chi-Chi as DLC. I want like Chi-Chi from the martial arts tournament. You remember at the end of OG Dragon Ball when she fights Goku at the martial arts tournament? That's what I want. I want Chi-Chi and her gi doing her martial arts.
You want Chi-Chi, you want King Piccolo, you want Raditz. You're on that copium chain right now. You want Ribrianne.
No, I don't give a fuck about King Piccolo. I just want Chi-Chi.
Who was the? Hold on. There was a tier list somebody sent me the other day.
They need to do something like that though. Like, okay, you know how the old days they used to unlock one of the characters right in the season pass, and then it had the little question marks, and then everybody was making all the speculation posts and everything. If they do that with the rollback announcement, announce one character coming soon, like coming next week or whatever, right?
Garlic Jr. Oh
and it's like question mark. Now people are gonna be playing the game. They got rollback. They got a new character, and like, oh shit, this game is lit. Who's the next character? Like,
Garlic Jr.
So much.
Those
they can put in there.
Let me see if I can find
this bitch.
I can see the Buddha. And then
there was like this tier list. There was like this tier list about characters that you want to see, that they want to see in the game.
I don't want no mid characters. We need all the bangers. So we need like.
Yeah, no,
they're about to add Kaba. They're about to add Kaba. And then it'll be like this ugly ass character.
We do not need Kefla 2.0. We do not.
We don't need that. We don't need that.
Please, God, no.
Ooh would be sick. Maybe another Mega Shenron, right?
Sick. Super Boo. I don't know. Nobody talks about Super Boo, but Super Boo would be fire.
Yeah, give him like the absorb mechanic where he kind of like Android 21, where he gets like different moves based on who he's fighting. That'd be sick. That'd be sick.
Ooh, that would be fire too. Like they have so much way to go with Dragon Ball, man.
It's Hercule not in this game. Real talk. How is Hercule not? Like I feel like Hercule's the kind of character they don't announce, but when you download the update, he's just there. Like he just shows up on the character select screen. But they didn't release.
Would you make him like a main character, or would you make him an actual character?
He gotta be like kind of an actual character.
I was in your I was scrolling through your Twitter looking for this post. All right, so look if you guys can look at my screen real quick. There was like a tier list about wishful characters you would want to see in the game. Thank you, Toby, by the way. I was looking for it crazy just now. But This is not my tier list.
God.
This is Toby's tier list.
Oh yeah, this
but,
tier list is definitely oof. I agree with some of it though. I agree with some of it.
But like, there's some characters here. Like, I want to see General Tao, Mr. Hercule,
Bro,
Topo.
put General
Tao.
But that's a fighter. That's
bro.
an actual.
Well, no, wait. General Tao did have some saucy ass moments, but I don't.
That's
think
what
he
I'm
go
saying.
right. It's so many better characters.
The general with his tongue, yeah, that might kind of clean. Oh, Pan with a little robot dude together, I can see that. That's pretty cool.
That's what I'm
We
saying.
don't want Pan, bro. We got Videl already. We good. We good.
Nah,
we don't want
Pan
him.
could be
General
like
Tao over the
Lewis.
Super Saiyan 4s. You
Yo,
got it,
even the wolves, the wolf trio from the superhero, that would be fire. Super Boo, Omega Shenron, Moro for sure. Troll
100%.
Moro in this game.
Yeah, Moro gotta get in
for
there.
sure. Most ruthless villain we've had in a while. Don't care. I don't know. For me, I was very sad when GT got in the game and they teased SS4 and he was not an install. I was hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is the
I don't
part.
agree with the Moro pick. I think Moro is not really a hype character yet. Maybe if
You
it
think
gets
Moro's
animated,
hype?
yeah, maybe if they get
If
they get animated,
right,
continuation.
but I can
Anime
see
has
like
to happen,
Shenron. See
for
like
sure.
I think characters like Shenron would actually be. It makes sense to have Shenron in the game. Majin
Right.
Vegeta to me doesn't make sense anymore.
Does not make
Sad.
sense.
It doesn't make sense in the game.
Any Goku Vegeta clones, we don't need anymore. They're done.
It's not
Yeah.
even because they're
Please
clones.
stop putting Goku
We
Vegeta in the
just
game.
don't need them. They don't fit the game. Super 17 makes sense. Super 17 makes sense. Like
I
what's
ain't gonna
his
lie,
name?
I would like Super 17.
Oh, that would be sick.
Took his arm off and got the Gatling gun off his arm. Fire.
I think
Imagine it's like opening is like Android 16 where he kind of like gets up, but then he like puts his hair back the way he has it. Like, oh my
I would
god,
say
that
Super
would be-
17.
Oh yeah, that would be lit.
Super
I
17
can see
makes
the
sense.
vision.
Shenron, Mr. Satan, and Topo. I'll say those
I was
four.
Chi-Chi not on this list.
They make sense. Zarbon, I don't know about Zarbon. Ribrianne,
I
to get the
sleep on
people tight.
Zarbon.
To get people tight, you can put
Bro,
Ribrianne.
if you want Zarbon in the game, you deserve death.
That's
Yeah,
OD.
Zarbon is that's disgusting. Why would
But
you? even want that
Zarbon did go
character?
crazy in the
Zarbon.
Tenkaichi games or whatever. Zarbon used to go Budokai.
You might as well put Raccoon in the game. He already in the game. You might put him as a solo
I
character.
did
You want
that
Zarbon.
like,
But
no
maybe
way.
Dispo will fit into the game.
Yo, this one would kind of be fire. But give
Dispo
him the
might be
voice.
go.
Yeah, he might be cool because with the speed and everything and his aesthetics and everything, he's probably kind of hard. I feel like we missed some characters that they should go. I agree with them going back to the original Dragon Ball. We just have to pick the best original Dragon Ball. So like,
Chi-Chi.
You have to go General Tao.
not Chi-Chi, anything but Chi-Chi.
Bro,
I
get
even
the
think
hell
like,
out of
oh,
here, bro.
Demon King Piccolo, like
You're
put
done.
Ape
Piccolo.
Goku. Just put one Ozaru in the game, please. Just one giant monkey,
Just-
not babies
and
level 3. Just an actual monkey the whole time.
We're tired of monkeys. We have enough monkeys in this
Alright,
game.
if we have to put like a Red Ribbon representative, then Dr. Gero would make sense then, right?
No,
Nah.
Blue,
Bro,
bro.
we
Give
already
me the
got
light.
lab code, bro. We already got lab code. Don't worry about it.
But
Yeah, we got like guys, girl.
The husband. We need a husband.
Nah.
Nah, no, we don't. He old. No one like him.
He's definitely
That
old
guy's
and
lame as
crusty.
fuck,
His
bro.
his moveset is gonna be holding you with his arm. It's stuck in you.
Oh.
Pause.
Oh my god. That was Android 19.
Android 19 was. I think they both had
17 definitely should be in the
absorbers.
game.
Super 17 would be sick.
I think some of these characters would be
And
cool,
Future
but
Gohan.
like Baby Gohan, we don't need Baby Gohan. We don't need Future Gohan. We don't need that. We don't need a
We
man
don't need
fighting.
Baby Gohan. I don't want any more
Well,
Gohan.
at least Beast
If you
Gohan.
have
Beast
Beast
Gohan.
Beast Gohan,
Beast
Beast
Gohan needs
Gohan,
to be in the
yeah.
game then.
Like that would have to be Beast Gohan.
Beast Gohan, Gamma 1 and 2. Those are like three, like
Who?
either like Gamma.
But again,
the robots
Gamma-
from
Who?
the-
No, I know who they are. Who?
I'm sorry, I don't know
You
about
can
anybody
keep the
else.
Gammas,
I
bro.
enjoyed the Gammas. I did enjoy the Gammas.
Yo,
I,
put Cell
I
Max in
actually
the game.
enjoyed them.
Put
I
Cell
enjoyed
Max.
the
Cell
game.
Max was a real character. You get the fuck out of here. That's basically an Ozaru cell form. He's just a green Ozaru. All right.
You want
That's
you
alright.
want the Gammas, bro?
One
Why?
of the
I love
Gammas.
them.
Give one of the
Why?
Gammas and make him like Android 18.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
already
yeah.
have,
Like,
we
exactly.
already have,
I think
we already
it would
have
be sick.
enough
You
androids
actually,
in the
you
game.
know what would be so much better than what we're talking about right now? They should completely delete Dragon Ball Fighters from the game and remake it and put all of these things that we're saying as installs.
That is true too. Installs in this game would go brr.
Oh yeah. Android 18 installs a software update. It becomes Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 instead of 17 and 18.
Anyways, the Gammas aren't in the game. They're not allowed. They're
You're not allowed.
That's sick.
Bro, I think they're sick.
Are the androids hype in this game? I don't know, man.
I think androids are sick. I think because like the way they play is like a little bit like different from like what's currently meta, but it's not like not good enough. It's definitely
Barriers
really
are the best
strong.
thing in the game right now, bro. I'm
Spin, right? Yeah.
And
So like
every
the
android
androids
has a
have their
barrier.
place in the meta. Except for 16.
Barriers just say stop,
Rip.
and you have to stop.
No more.
16 is the barrier. He just has like moves that are invulnerable to shit. Like armor
Bro,
moves,
every
anti-air.
fucking all the good androids have barrier moves that just say stop and you can't do anything. Lab code barriers and then press to spin. Android 18's or Android 17's assist. Like,
Mm.
My man doing dance moves on you, bro.
That shit out my game.
Either way, we can debate our
Yeah, we can debate this all day, every day.
But
But
there's so many more characters
that
that we didn't even discuss yet. That
Yeah.
should be in this
Topo
game.
is
But
definitely in the game.
I have one final question, unless you guys have like a follow up to it, because I know we kind of got
Now, what's your question?
talking about all this.
Hit me.
All right, Lawless. The people
Yeah.
want to know, man. What is the all-time Japan A team? All time.
18 all time. Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Let me pull up the notepad.
All time Japan 18. Okay, I can tell you right now. Goichi Kazunoko Fenrich. Right. Goichi Kazunoko Fenrich. Who else was cooking like crazy? Man.
He missed Kazunoko.
It was
nerf-
Kazunoko.
They literally had to
I'm-
nerf him multiple
He was
times.
too powerful. He literally solved the game, bro.
They said,
Okay,
"Nah, you're
okay.
getting nerfed, bro."
3 different times, by the way.
Wait, 3 times. You're right. Forgot about the Roshi one too.
Yeah, he committed to solving it. He'd solve the game and then just watch everyone. It took him like 20 minutes too. It's just the funny thing. It's like you didn't have to think about it. Goichi Kazunoko Fenrich, Tachikawa. I'm gonna put in the A team. I'll put Tachikawa from season 2. Tachikawa, he made top 8.
Okay.
He made top 8. Like he definitely showed out.
He won the world tour. LCQ.
Yeah. He was that guy. He showed everyone else up like at the in the world.
He does have a highlight too with the
Yeah.
Kefla comment. It will always be a legendary comment he made.
Yeah. Yeah. What can I say? Like
Top
like
five.
now the remaining 4 is gonna be like the bottom half of the A team. You know, you got like the AA team. This is like
Oh
the
my
BA team.
Oh, so you got a B team too.
The
I mean-
the A2.
I'm trying to think of like impactful Japanese players at this point. Honestly, like I'll put Ikoan up here because he was playing back
Okay.
then, and he's very strong right now. Even
Is that how you
you know,
spell his
even
name?
now.
I don't.
Ikoan, and then Hiro as well. Hiro.
What about Dogura? Remember Dogura?
Dogura, I feel like I loved watching him personally because I liked watching Cooler, but I don't think he performed that well even when he
Nah,
played.
bro, you're gassing it. You're gassing it. He definitely cooked Sonic Fox at year 1 at the LCQ. He got, like, top 4. And at bro, it was always him, Fenrich, and Goichi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
they
are the
were
3.
always
Those
in
are the
top
top
8.
3. Yeah, those are the
You're
3 that
okay.
They
were
were
always
in
in
every
there.
top 8. And by the way,
Well,
we cannot forget.
but he wasn't present for like season 2 and 3. Like, was he in
This-
season
but-
2 that
but-
often?
But this is
He-
all
he
time.
stopped
This
playing
is,
before the
He's
pandemic.
in season 2 though.
is there anybody? Okay, you said Dogura, right? Is there any other current player that's better than Dogura in their prime? This is prime.
That's
state,
hard.
prime
That's
state.
hard because like if you ask me like Oblivion didn't start playing till like season 3, and so he only knows how to like. If I have to play like I can only scale Oblivion to the gameplay as it was in season 3. I have no idea how he would play in season 1 or 2. Like this is hard because the
but
game
that's-
changed
that's,
so
that's
much.
fine, right? Because we're taking them in the prime. This is hypothetically speaking, of course, right? Like if Ikohan and Dogura were to go, Oblivion and Dogura were to go 1v1 first to 7 or whatever, first to 10, you know, would he win? Would Dogura lose? Like it's a hypothetical, right? This is all just
Yeah, okay. I'll put Dogura there then. So now we've got what 7 people, and get the last one.
yeah, you got Goichi, Kazunoko, Fenriri, Tachikawa, Ikohan, Hiro, and Dogura.
Man, my heart says Moke.
I personally put Bomba Bomb.
Oh, what actually was spitting. How did I forget? You know, Bomba definitely in there. Bomba's definitely in there.
Damn, where's the love for B?
B.
Bro, B was nice, but he never,
Is this
never
your
like.
The thing is, like, Bomba showed up like towards the end of season 1 and just like brutalized everyone, like
This is
out of
no order,
nowhere.
right? This is no order.
I mean, okay, the first 4 are ordered. Like, right?
Bro,
Like, come
you
on.
got Goichi over Kazunoko?
No, not ordered. It's just that the first four are better than the second four. But the first four within itself is not ordered. I personally think Kazunoko was better overall.
I think Kazunoko is the best Dragon Ball player of all time, bro.
Spin. 100%. Agree. Hard agree. Kazunoko is my. I have a picture I took with Kazunoko at Fighting Tuesday a couple years ago because I was visiting Japan for work. It's one of my prized possessions. Is this picture I got to take with him. This was during his world tour like stampede during 2018, which was wrecking the whole world. I got a picture with him. It was great.
Daniel, I'm not even gassing it either, bro. He has won in every version of the game.
You're spitting.
He fathered every all the shit that we.
He's a soldier boy. Say he's a soldier boy.
He was actually soldier boy. He was actually soldier boy. Super
I remember he was watching fellas like. Yeah, he was doing it to fellas,
He pioneered. You saying Kazunoko pioneered the game?
Yes.
He solved it first every time.
DP plus assist. DP into Yamcha assist. Season 1. Let me think. What else did he do? The Kid Buu adult Gohan shit. He started it in season 2. Season 3, he literally got Gotenks and Roshi nerfed. Who was playing Roshi?
Kazunoko.
He literally killed Roshi.
Lord Knight was playing him.
This is kind of a weird one to pull up, but as far as a net negative perspective goes, he's currently probably eating the best out of any like old pro. Because like if you see what he does nowadays, he streams like Guilty Gear or even that JoJo Fighter or fucking Dark Souls or League of Legends to an audience of like between like 2,000 and 6,000 people like regularly.
On
like,
what,
he's
YouTube?
eating on YouTube. He streams on YouTube. Like if you look at his YouTube channel. He's got almost 100,000 subscribers. He regularly streams like to several like his like latest like one of his latest videos, a JoJo video. He's playing that JoJo game for PlayStation. 200,000 views. He's eating good, and he's like as far as like he took the success he got from his reputation in Dragon Ball and ran with it, which is really like at the end of the day, like can anyone contest that record? Because he took his success from fighters, the international infamy he got, and he ran with it as farther than anybody else.
This is what we say.
Also, let's not forget that he beat Goichi. Like if you take like champion, like Kazunoko has more chips than Goichi does. Because he won Gear 1, Goichi won Gear 2, and then Year 3 he cooked his.
Kazunoko won. Yeah, Kazunoko won Year 3.
No, you're right.
You're absolutely right. And
he
like
has more chips than Goichi.
Like he regularly streams. Like this is like obviously if you look at like the videos, right? This shows like how many views it's got afterwards. But when he streams real time while he's streaming, he'll have like 2,000 or 3,000 people watching him.
I didn't know he streamed on YouTube. I had no idea.
JoJo Bizarre Adventure 3 months ago, 100K views.
Like this is almost exclusively Japanese people, right? Because he only speaks in Japanese while he's talking. Like he doesn't actually like speak English while he streams. Like this is exclusively even within just this country. He's lapsing other content creators in FGC.
Kazunoko versus Lashar 1 year ago, 500,000.
Yeah, that's
100%. Lashar, shout out to Lashar.
The top view video is a DBZ video though, so we're taking that W.
Bro, shout out to Lashar, the undisputed best Korean Dragon Ball FighterZ player of all time. He's retired now; he don't play anymore, but he was the best in Korea.
Okay, all right. Hey, Kai, J-Bo, you guys have any other question?
Nah, bro. That was pretty good, bro.
So.
Actually, did you guys? All right. So one last thing. So we didn't get to like actually talk about LCQ since the World Tour is pretty much finalized.
Oh yeah, true.
So who are the favorites going in for LCQ? What do you guys think? Because we got, I know Kasuga's going. Kasuga said he's going. I think Wade
is Wade going? Yeah, I was about to say Wade is probably
getting crowdfunded.
I don't know, but
you're going, right?
I'm going. I think Hikari said he's going.
I'm going. Woo!
Oh, man, I haven't seen the Kazunoko UI frame kill in so long. That's like I always like noticed the way he did that one.
All the West Coast players.
All 2 of them. Actually, all 0 of them.
Damn.
Now, honestly, Kane doesn't have to play the LCQ. Kane's already qualified. He doesn't have to get in their bubbles. Hikari, I think he has a shot for sure.
Oh?
But
Kai, your favorite website?
My favorite website? Oh, NorCal 5842.
Oh, what is this? The empirical evidence
The empirical
website? Oh yeah, in this game you can't fight with this.
This is Kite's
I mean,
bookmarked.
Wait, so who's the what's the on the right? Your face is there. James. I don't know who you.
is Goichi.
Goichi, sorry.
Mm.
I mean, maybe he got him in the head-to-head, but the last time they played was 2019. Actually, no, it wasn't 2019. It was
2020.
It was 2020.
Wait.
2020.
My man Goichi tripped though.
It was in the launch show, remember?
Man, Goichi got the trip on in that profile.
At the Red Bull at the World Tour Finals.
I don't think they're bad.
No.
I think they're ready
didn't
to
play
play this
this
game, bro.
Because Goichi got first, Kazungo got ninth. They didn't play.
It was not the World Tour Finals. It was the national championship. They played offline in Japan.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I remember I watched
He
that. I watched that stream like on the train.
Damn, look at this list.
Hey, look at the gold stars real quick.
Like Katsunoko maybe doesn't win that often, but he wins when it matters. Like what am I going to tell you? Like
I mean, that's pretty often right there.
yeah, I agreed. But like against Goichi, I meant against Goichi.
I mean, they're near 50-50.
Yeah.
It's like
They're first and second place. It's like what can I say? They're so close.
But remember, this is only Smash GG. This is not
no
challenge,
no tournament or we don't use Smash GG over here. So like honestly, like modern tournaments over here in Japan don't touch Smash GG. There's nothing here like that runs on Smash GG.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we use our own tournament platform. Actually, it's I like it a lot more than Smash GG. It's way simpler. But because it's simpler, it doesn't have like some of the features. But from my perspective, all the important stuff is there, and it's easier to use. So I just like it better.
For the LCQ, if I had to give my guess, I'm never gonna count myself out. I want to just get top 8 if I can't win. You know, that's my personal goal. However, if I had to choose a winner, it would definitely be between Wade, Kari, Kite, and I just don't know the 2 Japanese players that would go.
It would be Econ.
Be ready. If Econ shows up,
it'll be Econ. Yeah, so it'll be between those 3 for me.
And then there's obviously like maybe like some of the European players will go like plug maybe. I don't know.
Because if it's 2 players, then yeah, it would have to be 2.
We're gonna need a bunch of money matches to happen. Maybe y'all need me out there too.
Maybe
I already got one. You know what I mean? I already got one signed up.
Tournament. We need to run an international tag tournament, right? Have you ever like seen a Dragon Ball FighterZ tag tournament?
Yeah, I'll run it. I'll pull up to LCQ.
Yo, I'm down, yo. That would be the most fun
Your
thing.
partner has to be from a different region as you.
Oh, that's fire. Yeah, let's do that.
I can do that right now, gang.
Run this in Evo. I wanted to run this in Evo this year, but I didn't get anybody to help me out. I was kind of all by myself. I've never really run like an event like that. If y'all wanna back me up, we'll start it from now. Start advertising. Okay, I like I said, I don't know how many Japanese players are going to the LCQ, but if we can at least get a couple of them, I'll talk to Fenrich. I'll be like, hey, bro, trying to just talk with me so you can carry me to victory, right? Like run a tag tournament, an international tag tournament. I think that would be so much fun. Get the French players involved, the US players, you know, and as many Japanese players as we can scramble together. But I think that would be a lot of fun.
And then we're not counting the players like I'm pretty sure some of the players from like the region where Pred went. I'm pretty sure some of them will be coming. So there's a lot more players that we're not even considering.
Oh, true.
Yeah, all of them are also coming too. So it's gonna be that whole event is gonna be fire for Dragon Ball altogether because it's just like so much international play as well as.
I think it's a must go.
It's a must go. That's why I'm choosing it over Frosty. It's like a no brainer.
Kai doesn't make sense.
I got to see Uchiha. And I can.
Yeah. Isn't he the one who made that tier list, right?
Yeah, he made that terrible tier list. And
it's gonna be lit. The whole tournament's gonna be crazy.
Overall, LCQ might be like the biggest, unless Bum hosts another tournament that will top it. But I think LCQ might be the big shebang for DBZ right now.
Definitely the big shebang. I agree.
Yeah.
I heard like Bum is like cooking something in the background, like he wants to involve the Japanese players. He's actually mentioned to me a couple of times, and I'm always like open to helping however I can if that's something he wants to go forward with. I don't know how that's kind of like progressed since I haven't heard about it in a little bit, but sorry, go on.
Last question for you, Kamal. Since you have no bias, in this. You're not from either side. East Coast or West Coast?
Oh, East Coast. Come on. No, that's not even... I have a little bit of bias because I have more friends on the East Coast, but like it's not like personal, but I do think East Coast...
You know what I mean? You don't rap. But like...
It's on
You know
record.
what I mean? They got
Let me pull
Like
up this.
even considering like where I'm from in the U.S., I'm Midwest, so like I don't really count as either. But I think there's just more stronger players on the East Coast than there are on the West Coast. Simple as
So
that.
would you say? So would you say? This is me being incredibly petty right now. But so would you say that it's not our fault that they just don't have that many players, so they don't get, you know what I mean? They don't get the shot. You know what I mean?
I mean,
It's not our fault. It's not our fault. We're nasty. You know what I mean? They just got to get better, right?
100%. Like, why would it be your fault? That's just shifting the blame. Hello, who would make the argument that it's your fault that they're not that good?
Oh,
All right. So now here's my next level. My next level.
I hate Kai so
being petty.
much.
Yo,
my
I
next
go
level
at it, yo. The setups be immaculate.
I heard. You know what I mean? I heard that
Oh, no.
Alekovic was getting cooked by Neo. So like, if you're getting cooked by my boy Neo,
Oh god.
how are you gonna
Wait,
fuck with me?
same
Can
dude-
somebody
same dude
help
that
me
was on
find
that
the
play with
list?
us?
What happened?
That was saying, isn't that the same guy that was like, oh, if I lose to Jake Ryan or if he's gonna take my money next or something? Is that guy?
Yeah,
Here we go.
He was losing to
Yeah.
Neo.
yeah. So like, all I'm saying is, apparently Alekovic and Neo are gonna play for money at Frosty's. So all I'm gonna say is, Alekovic better not lose.
It all started with
Did
this
you have a
banter
question?
here as well.
What am I supposed to add here? Like, did you have a question?
Oh, no, I
He was just stroking
I
his
wanted
ego.
to
He was
see-
stroking
I wanted
his
to
ego.
see who you were repping, Lawless. I wanted to see who you were affiliated with.
Man, I don't
needed
really
to
know.
know.
Like,
This is
that
Kai
well.
stroking
I
his
don't
ego
really
right
know.
now,
Like,
man.
Are you a West Coast? Are you a West Coast believer?
Doubters
I mean,
rise.
I don't
Are
know.
you are you an East Coast doubter?
I don't have the
Let us know.
information. My boy.
He's not tapped- he's not tapped in, he's not tapped in.
I got it. Big Ear or Tupac right now. Big Ear
Oh
or
my
Tupac
god,
right now.
no, that's not what we're doing. Look,
Man,
Kai-
Tupac.
Kai-
Oh, so you're West Coast. There you go. That's it.
so the real question, the real question, the real question we should be asking, right, is Alekovic versus Kite. Yes, right. Alekovic versus Kite. That's the real question.
Oh, kite free, bro. That's not even a question, bro.
I would say Kite. No, I say this because I don't know how
This
good
is in the call,
Alekovic
right?
is.
'Cause
Like, I've
Kite's in
seen
the
him play
call.
a little bit, but like the thing is, like, if I don't have like a good understanding of how like strong you are, I'm not gonna assume you can beat Kite. Like the default is Kite will beat you, right? Because Kite kind of nasty. Right?
Is Kite on the 18?
What's the set to, Pred? What's the set to? First to 10?
But don't ask me
Seven, I think.
who's on the 18. I don't-
First to 10 or first to 7?
I think it's 7.
7? I'm gonna go.
But
I'm gonna
you know what I mean?
go
I'm
7
not
for
even
you.
like, I'm not even jacking like, you know, me versus Alekovic, bro. Like, cause he gotta go handle my man's Neo first. That's all I'm
All
saying.
right, so hear my theory behind money matches, right? Hear me out, right? If you guys, for me, right, if I'm confident that I'm gonna smoke you, I don't care about the amount of money that we put up. That number is irrelevant to me because I believe
That's
within
unrealistic.
myself, right?
Yeah, it's not
So-
positive. It's not positive.
No.
It's just
It's
for money.
For example, like when Kai says 500 OD, I gotta make sure I got that money. Like I understand it, obviously, right? Because you don't want to bet with money you don't have. I understand that, right? But me personally, I'll put the bank up. If I'm confident in myself, I literally will put up the bank up. Because I'm not gonna take a match. I'm not gonna take a match that I'm willing that I might lose. That's a
See,
bad
Daniel's.
Yeah, that's a bad gamble.
I don't
do that, though, bro. You
bet
can't do that,
money
bro.
that I might not have. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna, like, if I only got $100, I'm not gonna say, yo, put up 250. And then
$200,
if I
yeah,
lose, I
Yeah,
get
I
called
hear
out,
you,
know what I mean?
but you're not.
Like,
but you're not
I'm
gonna
not,
lose,
I don't,
right?
I mean, exactly. I'm not gonna lose, but like, nothing is absolute in the world. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna get caught slipping.
Yeah, because what if your
Off
controller
chance that I
breaks
lose.
mid-set? Then you lose by default.
Yeah,
Look,
you know what I mean?
man,
Like,
I'm just saying, if it was me,
so what Daniel's actually saying, is that he would put up 500 for me because he knows I'm not gonna lose. That's what you're saying, right?
I
Okay,
said
Kai-
me. I said
I
me.
put a 150 on you. I put 150 on you. Right? You better not lose my money though. But I put 150 on you.
Bruh, there's
Like,
no
like
way
if
I'm
I had
gonna
to,
lose,
look,
to be honest.
it's all about being smart, right? Like if you tell me, yo, Daniel, $500 money match versus like Pride or somebody, I'm gonna be like, nah, I probably won't take that. I'll probably lose that money match. But if you tell me
I ain't
against
doing no
Bubbles,
$500
against
though.
J-Ball, against Kite, that's free money. That's free estate. That's free estate.
And what you trying to say, bro?
Nigga acting like I didn't cook him like 2 days ago, bro. Like, I don't want to hear
Wait,
it.
hold, wasn't the score 5-4? Come on, now, Kite. Come on.
It was
now.
no 5-4. It was like 7-3.
We could go back in the
boot it up,
vlog.
man. Boot it up. The net play, the delay play. Let's go.
No,
Oh,
but
I
yeah.
mean, Fred, that's what I'm asking. Is would he put 500? Is he that confident?
So
The real question is how much do I like you, Kai? That's the real question.
King of the East. Run on King of the East. Fred, boot up the exhibition series again. Come on.
Yeah, that was fun as hell. I'm not gonna lie. King of the East was
Come on, like I have nothing to do on Tuesday mornings anymore.
What you mean? I stream in the mornings. What are you talking about? We here.
No, I used to commentate for KOT is what I'm saying.
But I put up
I used to look forward to it every week, bro.
Yeah, but I'm live in the morning, so you can just come to my stream. What are you saying?
All right, you gonna put me on the microphone so I can talk about how shit your gameplay is?
Whoa.
Right now, this Daniel. This Daniel.
Y'all hear something? Nah.
Hit him with a slide to the left, boy. Get over there.
I had to move him.
So in the U.S., who would be like your money matches? So like Hakari or like Enzim, like who is the ones that you would want to money match in the U.S.? Or like Predator, even Nitro, like who would be the ones that like, okay, I'll money match you and take your money? Like, do you have a list of people you want to take out or no?
They're mainly on the West Coast, funny enough.
Yeah, because money matches must be personal.
I want to play Garlic. I want to play Garlic in a long set because the way that I lost that Evo, like
Wait,
nah.
I feel like it was a
the
flip,
way that-
basically.
hold on, Kite.
Yeah. Wait, that's.
I got something for you, bro. Wait, who deleted my conversation? You're coming
What?
for Angelic 8. For those who don't know, right? Angelic is happening the first weekend of of January. Okay.
Yes.
And one of the players that are gonna be here is your op.
Oh, not the op.
Who's my op?
Enzim's gonna be here.
Oh, Enzim.
The Enzim is I showed the trailer. I can show the trailer again. I don't know if you guys seen it, but it's not done.
Enzim
It's
my
not
op?
100% completed. I'm saying that's money match brewing right there. True or false?
Perhaps, but I don't really care that much.
Oh yeah, Pred. I don't know if I'll put up 500 on anybody. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I don't even care if I knew how I was gonna win. That's a lot of money to put on somebody and put that on myself.
Betting on yourself is never a bad option.
Yeah, put it on somebody else. They break their hand, bitch said, or they finger break something. I'm gonna be sad as hell.
But you get mad at the guy who lost. Be like, the fuck, man? That's so.
He said, what's the name? Said Enzim smoking you, Kite. Don't do it,
Anyways,
Wait, hold on. Let me show off the.
bro. I wish I can come to Angelic 8, man. Damn.
Let me show off
Me too, bro.
trailer
I'm
real
jealous.
Right,
When
bro.
you check
We
it,
at home.
preview. You got the preview.
quick. Yeah, it's not complete. It's not done. But this is just a small, a little thing,
I
a
got the
little
silver,
thing.
man. Silver is nice with the editing, bro.
kind of nice. The beer's one look kind of whack. I'm not gonna lie. Just standing there with his hand out, like, bro.
Hold on.
My man Silver was with the editing, bro.
Silver's putting in
Definitely
work.
goated.
Okay.
Only some of the players been announced, not all of them.
I wish I can come, bro. Even if I just came to commentate, and gas up, and
Oh,
That's
Fred, I'm
what
sorry,
you
Fred,
love
but
about
you're a victim.
you're a victim. Oh, Indra, I'm Indra.
Into a Cali. Okay.
As a pop-off. This Vegeta just keeping you on lockdown. Ains have just...
Oh, you just had to put this clip, huh?
Nah, this is disrespectful. This is disrespectful.
Then the pop-up too? Yo.
That's disrespectful.
So it's not done yet, but
That's
The pop-off,
disrespectful.
yo.
I'm sorry,
Not
Fred.
the
You had to be a
fucking
victim.
tea,
You had to
man.
be. You had to be a victim. Wade had to be a victim. It happens. LK had to be a victim. It happens. Okay.
That's violent.
Nah, yeah, that event's gonna be fire, bro. I'm definitely excited, bro. I already know you. I know you putting a lot of time into this, yo. Shout out to you, bro.
Guys.
Thank you. So if you guys don't know already, for those who don't know, Angelic A is happening the first weekend of January. So make sure you tune in for that. The first day we're gonna have the Angels play. Yo, actually we're talking about it. While Posey was here in my house earlier, we were talking about it. This is for the YouTube too. This is all going on to the YouTube channel at this point. But we might end up doing a 9v9 as well.
I was lit.
A
9v9.
9v9.
Oh, with you and Posey? That's a
Me
9.
and Posey, either me and Posey as the captains, or we're in the mix.
Understandable.
We gotta play too, bro.
So, Angelic 8 coming soon. But yeah, any final words, final thoughts?
Nah.
Yes. I hope I can see y'all at the CQ. I'd love to go if I can. It's all kind of up in the air right now, but if I can make it happen, it's definitely
if you come, bro, first shot on me, bro. For real, bro. First shot on me.
Pause.
We're gonna have a. That's not a pause.
That's not a pause. First of all, that's not a pause, but I don't drink.
Nah, son.
You don't drink?
Clip that.
Sorry, bro.
J-Bo, nah.
Me? That's that's
Nah,
drinking.
man, you gotta listen to that shit back.
I don't know.
See, listen, I cannot be caught lacking like
J-Bo
everybody else, bro.
giving Lawless back shots. It is what it is.
Whoa! No.
I need some photographic evidence of this nonsense in the chat. Somebody please click
Oh
that.
way!
No, we're chilling. Pred, only the first 4 are ordered. The rest of this is not ordered. This is all Lawless list. But yeah. All right. This Lawless will go ahead and drop your ats real quick for the peoples.
Jesus Christ. Oh, okay. It's not that complicated. It's just always gonna be like, I'm on Twitch. I'm on Twitter. Follow me. I don't stream that often. I stream once in a while. Honestly, I stream more Pokemon Showdown than Dragon Ball Fighters these days. I was streaming Dragon Ball while I was practicing for Power Event, but honestly, these days I'm more just probably gonna get back into Melty Blood. I'm gonna try and do some TOing for Melty Blood here in Japan, maybe some Melty commentary. But if you ever see me on the mic, feel free to say hi.
So
I'm trying to increase my commentary opportunities. I kind of started doing it as a hobby for Pred's event. I do it, every week, and then he kind of stopped. And I enjoy commentary more than playing because it just lets me judge people without being subject to judgment myself. That's why I really like it,
So that's the future for you? More commentary? That's what it's in store?
I'm hoping to. If I find the time and the opportunity, of course. And I gotta find ways to get into the Japanese scene. It's not easy to ask people to commentate for tournaments in Japan. It's kind of its own thing here. So it's definitely gotta get on that. But anyway, yeah, feel free to hit me up anytime if you have questions about Japan or you want to move here or you want to find a Japanese girl. Don't ask me those questions. But anything else, sure.
Wait. All right, I almost forgot.
Oh, okay.
You brought it up. Very absolute promise, not official. Last question for real. Would you rather snitch on the bros or cheat on your girl?
Ooh, snitch on the bros. I'm sorry. My girl would actually butcher me if
I
cheated on her. At least he was honest, bro.
No, but the frame one was crazy. The frame one response was crazy.
At least, see me.
Nah, episode over. Episode not going on YouTube. It's over. It's done.
It's not going on YouTube.
Me personally, I'm not gonna, man.
Damn.
Man.
Y'all giving me a hard time, but integrity is important to me, bro.
Nah, your girlfriend
to a high standard.
Bro, your girlfriend has to be dangerous. Your girlfriend
said that for
very poor eyesight, so.
Dimitri said she must be dangerous if she said that frame one. My God,
she said she got the knife ready.
She dangerous and she in the room next, right next to me.
Oh yeah.
That's okay. Okay. Yeah, no, J-Bo. I know how this goes. Yo, when she goes to work, call me on Discord and I'm gonna ask you again. All right?
She has a day off today, so unfortunately.
No. You only said that because she's in the room. I know how this goes.
We know how it goes. Bro.
Yeah, we know. I respect you. You are a respectable man. But all right, Lawless. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming through. I know it's mad early for you. It's 10 a.m. right now, 10:23 a.m. Right, something like that.
Yeah, I've been technically working the whole time. I'm on the clock as we speak. While I'm doing it. This is what we call working from home privileges. I just do whatever the fuck I want all day, and I take home the paycheck anyway.
But yeah, Lawless, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming through, man. Always. Thank you.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you guys for having me. I had a lot of fun. If you guys ever want the scoop on the Japanese side again, I'm gonna try and start running some offlines here too. Maybe. I'm always happy to offer my insight.
Time to revive Japan.
I was talking about it with Colossus the other day too. I was like, we need a fukatsu is the word for revival, right? Dragon Ball Fighters revival.
You heard that, Kai? So if you ever go to Japan, we got a place to stay. Lit.
Yep, that's what I heard. Exactly.
You heard that, J-Bo?
I have a spare bedroom. We have a spare bedroom. I live with my girl. What can I say? She has to be okay with it too.
How's your girl?
Together. Leave, boss. Leave. She's gonna set you up, bro. She's listening, bro. She's listening.
Yo.
Do not fall for the trap. Do not fall for
No
the trap.
way,
You will die.
More back shots? Nah, chill, no.
Oh my god, no.
Peace out.
Thank you.
Peace
Peace
out,
out.
peace
Peace
out.
out.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh man, that was funny. Nah, I appreciate you guys.
Hey, bro, anytime, bro. It's lovely. I think you should just kind of ask, like, give out what people's opinions should be for our next week, so that you have like a whole week to kind of like, you know, see what everybody's on.
We'll see who we bring on next week. Yo, Lawless,
Also,
you already know. Thank you for coming through.
We should branch. I like. Did you want to keep this strictly Dragon Ball, or did you want to branch out?
We should create a group chat. That's what we should do.
That's some Russia. We should create.
Yeah, that's down. I'm down. We could talk about anything, bro.
Yeah.
The female conversation definitely has to happen on stream. That podcast definitely has to happen, yo. Especially with this chat, yeah.
Funny as fuck.
But I
was thinking.
Sorry.
I was
Let
thinking.
me
like, if we're
do the
gonna
outro
get
so I can
K7
end. So I can end the
Oh
YouTube
yeah, my
video.
fault.
Yeah,
Alright,
you straight. All right, I appreciate everybody coming through for the podcast. I appreciate everybody being here. If you guys want to catch the next podcast with Kite and J-Bo and myself next week, Tuesday, 6 p.m. EST. So make sure you pull up, show some love, and yeah, anything you guys want to say or plug in, real quick.
Follow me on
Kite,
Twitter.
at
It's Kite301 on Twitter.
Oh, facts. Follow me on Twitter at jbo3east.
I already know.
Also, yo, one last thing. If y'all are looking to get better at this game, I'm now doing Metafy because why not?
Are you even good?
It's Kite301 on Metafy.
Are you good?
Look, I'm doing like coaching and like replay analysis. If y'all wanna get good,
But are you good at this game?
I'm like extremely like way better than you. So
All right.
you know.
All right. Thank you everybody for coming through. I appreciate you guys. And yeah.